Okay. Does anyone want to do a quick recap of what happened, just so everybody's feeling comfortable?
Hmm. Think. Oh, you know what? It would help if I opened up Roll20.
Well, we encountered I guess we made the rest of our way safely down the staircase. All of us. No one didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to the giant statue in the middle of the city, well, in the middle of the harbor.
Yep.
It's a very big statue and very big waves. Pick did some shaman things to it.
If you didn't already have it, I would give you inspiration for not saying heathen things. I'm proud of you.
Well, you didn't see the way I was like waving my hands sarcastically when I said that. And I don't have inspiration.
Weird
for
bug
your
people
information.
stuff.
Oh, well, there you go. Now you have it.
Yeah, I used it when we were fighting the siren, if I remember correctly.
Right. Yep.
So yeah, we saw a big statue, and then I lost power, so I don't know like exactly what happened at the hollow cave thing.
Mhm.
So someone else might need to fill me in on that.
Pick ungracefully crammed herself through a tiny hole thing to get into where the mists were. And the mists were calling to her, and she was like, probably should go back to my friends. And she did her ritual to release the spirits she was supposed to bring there, and then ungracefully returned to scrambling out of the hole again.
Then we met Mima!
Yeah, well, we met something else first.
Okay.
We went into the cave where Mima lives, and ran into a distressing creation of Orlask, I assume, called a stone siren, who's a happy little fellow with a black hole for a head. Sultalis was quickly devoured, and Purser bravely leapt into the creature's maw after her to save her, although she ended up not needing saving, because it was like 1 damage away from spitting us out.
I would have
But it's the
allowed
thought that counts.
a slight retcon there just to continue the trend of attempting to gaslight Bonnie in all my games, but that's fair. Yeah, go ahead.
Purser does not need to develop a sense of self-preservation. He needs to develop more power so he can save more people.
There you go, because that's what heroes do.
Exactly. But we managed to escape the thing because we discovered it doesn't like to stand on worked stone. Maybe it can't even, move on it at all. And we met Mima, who is just as terrifying as Purser expected. She was... yeah. She was she wasn't even passive aggressive with Sultalis. It was just regular mother-in-law aggressive. And yeah, we talked with her for a bit. We asked her for a mirror. She made some insinuations about keeping Bemi safe and that he shouldn't follow us when we do this stupid thing in checking those barrier seals in the place that I can't remember the name of off the top of my head.
Path's End.
Yes, thank you. And we quickly left after Bemi gave Mima a foot rub.
Just like every night. Yep.
Every night, if I'm there.
If you're there.
That was embarrassing.
Yeah, we left there, took a rest. We discovered the nature of the weird bus stops as gathering places for lost giantish souls. We had some delightful discussions on the nature of, death and the afterlife and, all that. And that was about where we left off.
I know there's two things we have to do before Mima gives us a mirror.
Mm-hmm.
The mirror's for the Medusa.
Yes.
We gotta go and talk. We gotta go to the Den of Remembrance. We have to talk to Kolthad about something,
Hmm.
and we have to go to Path's End and deal with the what was it? Sigils, whatever.
To be fair, I don't think that was a task from her.
No.
She just said that you're not allowed to help us with that, or
So
we'll
she
face the consequences, I guess.
well, so she said that in Path's End you would find things like potions to reverse petrification and other important tools, and that Bemi was allowed to help you, but he was to not come to any harm and was to leave you guys if things went really bad.
Hmm. Yeah, I couldn't recall her exact wording there, but she doesn't like Bemi being in danger for some reason. And
Well, yeah, she's his Miwa. She loves him.
I'm deeply suspicious about that.
Fair.
But yeah, that's very very sound recap. But the only thing that was not there was you guys, as you were approaching, you had to kind of find a workaround for a specific street. It was overgrown with an odd assortment of plants that were not, they didn't seem native to the city. They weren't like ethereal in the
Yes.
moonlight. And you guys went around, and after some pathfinding, you're able to find a pretty a decent sized little clearing in this sort of what must have been an artsy area at one point. Um, but you found there were a lot of like astonishingly intact statues depicting Volkori tribal drow, based on the gear and tattoos and such. And yeah, you were about to head through. I think you would be about here actually. So yeah,
And I believe we had learned that Kulthsod isn't actually here right now,
Mima
but
seemed to think he wasn't there. Yeah, she said talk with his cat if he's not there.
and I am willing to generally trust Mima when she gives definite statements of fact.
Yeah.
It's the promises that I don't like.
That's fair. That's very fair.
And Mima was not nice to Bemi. Upset pick.
No,
You
she
know, it's
wasn't. She,
no.
it was, it, it was.
Ironically, I think I was the person she was nicest to, and that's because I just didn't engage.
I like
You were
your
like,
friend.
not
He don't
today,
talk
devil.
ever.
Not
For the
today.
record, I also didn't engage, and she still hated me.
She just
So
hates you because Bemi likes you, and you
I
might take the
know,
little
and
boy.
that's why it's like, Bemi, please don't do this to me. I don't need her coming after me or my siblings. Please don't.
I mean, she might just be toying with me in some kind of a long con because she knows what I am and what I serve.
Maybe she likes the silver flame. You don't know. She could.
I
She likes the silver flame.
Anyways, so
Air
yeah.
quotes.
What do you guys want to do here? You're. It's just another passageway. Do you want to like continue on as you've been going through it, or how do you want to approach
was instructed not to burn down the plants,
it?
which
Well,
was
there's not
rude
as
but
many to
fair.
burn here, anyways. It's really unpleasant. Like, there's not even a lot of good plants to burn. This is just kind of an open clearing area. There's a couple trees and such, but it's mostly
Were
just like a
we?
ruined courtyard.
We were traveling at night, weren't we?
Yep, dead of night.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh
to
wait, let
avoid
me
the
put up
weird
the date.
ghost plants.
Because
Actually,
I
it's
know
not dead
there's
of
like.
night. It's early in the night. This up.
Okay.
Because I had forgotten to put it up. It is.
Should be foggy, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, every night in in the Tomb City. Yeah.
The Tomb City. Ah.
Yeah. It was known that before the whole like shattering, actually. But yeah, but yeah. What do you guys want to do?
Head on into the Den of Remembrance. See if we can't find a kitty cat.
Here, kitty, kitty, kitty.
We should continue forward, and I will demand an audience.
Okay, that's fair.
Maybe
Demand
better
is
request.
Why don't you ask for an audience?
Request good. Request polite.
You
So
don't
yeah,
speak Draconic, do you?
No.
good. Then he'll ask.
Well, it's all in the inflection of the language. It's
Right.
Never seen dragon.
Uh-huh.
Excite.
Yeah, I've only met the one personally, and she was arresting.
Oh, really?
Oh, not like that.
Pick just tilts her head like she doesn't understand like what, but nods sagely like she did understand.
Well, that's unfortunate for you, then, isn't it? For such an arresting creature.
Well, I could use the same adjective to describe Mima, and I'm sure you would agree. And also
No, I would call her
agree, it's not
terrifying.
like that.
You know, I'm standing right here.
It is good. They do not find your grandmother attractive. I think that is good. Isn't that good?
Never
Looks at
really
them.
thought of it like that, but I guess you're right. I mean,
So yeah, if you guys can just go ahead and move whenever you'd like on the map that you're on.
all right. Well,
These things are all statues of Drow.
yeah, Bemmy's gonna just walk around going.
So, are we in the den right now, or are we like
Oh no,
outside?
you're well
I
outside still.
Okay.
Pick it.
I
Oh,
asked Bemmy what that
is
noise
flying.
he's making and why.
well, I always made that noise when I talked to Percy's kitty cat. I go, pss, 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 hello, kitty, 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 kitty.
Does that work on
Sometimes,
Percy's cat?
sometimes,
Pick is just flying to go land on this thing.
but it's like
Nick! What did you say, Bemmy? I'm sorry.
no. When you make that noise, you have to give ear scritches, else you broke a promise. That's not
Are
cool.
you
Percy
going to
nods.
be giving the dragon ear scritches?
No, maybe the kitty cat if Dragon ain't here.
So, I'm going to summon Pearl and
Okay.
have her look around for signs of another cat.
So yeah, as you guys are trotting forward discussing ear scritches, there is a interesting noise nearby. It sounds like shifting stone, as something is like rising out of the rubble nearby. It's a kind of horrifying creature you see pretty quickly, with a reptilian appearance, 8 legs, and a series of spines leading out of its back. It fixes its glowing yellow eyes on you and roars before charging. Which,
Oh boy.
one sec. If everyone could go ahead and roll initiative for me.
When you say it appeared, how did it do so?
It was sleeping under a bunch of stone in
Okay.
the rubble. It was awoken to the discussions of ear scritches.
Maybe it just wants some ear scritches.
True.
Maybe.
Truth.
You know
Try.
what?
Oh, what's the opposite of?
I encourage that mindset. One sec.
I'm gonna reconnect real quick.
Yeah, it's pretty sluggish for me too.
I'll be right back.
As long as it was happening to someone else, I'm happy.
Misery loves company, man. Purser, look at you go. You beat me in the initiative order.
Did I?
Yes, you did.
Good.
I got a lowly 18. I got
What did you roll? A 2?
a 4.
And Yeah. Once you're back, it will be your turn.
Okay. So,
So weird with that music. Sorry.
you said it was like charging at us?
Yeah, it's like I'm not gonna like, oh, it's suddenly here, but this is like
Mm-hmm.
you're just seeing it rise out of the rubble and hissing. And I'll put an image up just for funsies.
So, don't remember what I prepared this morning. Let's see. Anything useful? Not particularly. So yeah, I'm just going to cast Mage Armor and Shield of Faith on myself,
Okay, nice.
and I will end my turn. Actually, yeah, we'll charge forward.
Okay,
Gotta be ready. There we go.
sounds good.
And that'll be it.
Okay,
Pearl will move with me.
why not? And Femi, what would you like to do?
Bonus action Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
And. Do.
That is not what I wanted to do. I was trying to read that. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Go here. And it's the first attack, so I will shoot at Kitty Cat twice. Or Basiliscus twice. Basiliscus. I'm going to shoot it.
Bacilli.
Shoot
Fair
it. That's
enough.
what I'm going to do. Shoot it.
Yeah, that is.
Oh,
Second one does not hit.
okay. Still boom. And so 10 points of damage altogether.
Yeah. That's not bad, assuming all that goes through.
Oh, wait
Which
1 minute.
is
Um. Oh, no. It's the attack's damage dice. Never mind. Sorry. I'm good.
nope, you're good. And refreshingly, compared to the astonishing amount of damage you had to like throw at the stone siren and it just shrugged off, that one lodges itself in the stony but still somewhat flesh hide of this thing. So it seems like your blows actually connect properly. Um, and by the way, for those of you who used ranged weapons, I'm just, as long as you keep track of your ammo, I am definitely allowing the whole, like, just think of it as automatic that you, like, after each fight, you can reliably regain half the expended ammunition. So you don't need to, that makes it a little easier to not go dry on, like, I packed 30 arrows, DM, and I'm really low. So, yeah.
Yeah, let's see.
But is that
Think.
it for you?
Well, in that regard, that brings me to 18 arrows.
Mhm.
And yes, that
Okay.
is my turn.
All right, Pick, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna shoot it. And probably miss.
Yeah, yeah, Percy went first. Yeah, the shot goes a little wide and clatters into the bushes there.
She swears.
Does she
Everybody.
swear in common or in
She
bug?
can't speak common. It's 3 Korean.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all of her
got the wrong mouth
actual,
parts.
all of her verbal exclamations are in Thrycreen. Like, uh, everything else is telepathy. Um, but Satalis, what would you like to do? Hold it in.
I'm gonna keep it simple.
Yeah, it's not super wise, so unless it gets a very high roll, which it did, so it ignores that. Okay, sure.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'm gonna jump at this bush.
Okay, jump in the bush. Fair enough. Let's see. It is going to do a couple things. Yeah. Okay. Going to move astonishingly quickly for such a big animal. It's 8 legs working very hard as it scurries forward to here towards Bemmy. It's baleful yellow eyes glowing. And let's see.
I hope this is not his cat.
Does Ludger get a turn? I know he ain't here.
That's true. That's true. If someone's willing to roll for him.
Oh yeah,
The
I can
last.
take him like last
Okay.
time.
Okay. First of all, let's. He got a long rest. Let's add it. I will give. Why does it not come up here? There it is. Mm, okay, okay. Can you see it?
Yep.
Okay. And he's had a long rest, so he shouldn't be as injured as he's showing up on mine. But let's double check this. Oh no, he can move. Awesome, he can move one closer. Okay. He's going to go up to here, and he's going to start trying to bite you, Bemmy, because you shot him.
Understandable.
Does an 18 hit?
An 18 does hit.
Okay. 10 piercing and 7 poison damage.
Ooh.
As it like its jaws open wide and it snaps shut. Oddly enough, like while it has a lot of like it has fangs, it definitely has like predatory fangs. A lot of its teeth are um like oddly flat, like flat molars, like you'd see for like cattle or something. And yeah, it's but the bite is venomous, so you take 17 total damage, assuming you don't have resistance against poison or something.
Is a
And
basilisk is a basilisk a beast by any chance? I don't
it is
remember.
not, sadly. This one
Dang.
definitely isn't. Um,
Okay.
and yeah, look, oh, look, we got 20. Okay, nice. We'll just add him in. Okay, so Purser, it's your turn. The thing is currently savaging Bemmy.
Okay.
I'm bloodied. I'm definitely bloodied, by the way.
Well, as far as Purser is concerned, there is only one thing to do. Run up and help Bemmy.
That's fair, yeah.
So I will run up and I will just try my best to interpose myself. And I will give it a stab with my sword.
Okay.
Is that
Yeah, it's
9
it's
to hit?
yeah, it's honestly hard to get at it through the like porcupine-esque quills that are coming out of it.
Mm-hmm.
If you
Can't
think that you
find a
could
good
just get
angle.
through there, yeah, like it's hard to stab it and not just completely skewer your arm in the process, which you'd be
Yeah.
normally willing to do, but it's just a bad angle. So,
I mean, I'd be willing to do it if there was a good reason. Like, I'm not going to do it just to get stabbed.
I know.
There has to be a heroic sacrifice in it.
And do you want Pearl to do anything?
Pearl will back away and hide in the plants.
That's a fair reaction for a cat. Yeah, if that's it, then it
Yeah.
is Ludger's turn. So what do you want Ludger to do?
Ludger will stay at range and just fire his dinky little crossbow.
That is a big crossbow, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
So
that
it,
does hit. Yeah.
yes. So that'll be damage. 9 piercing damage.
Jeez. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got a bayonet for a reason, man.
And he will maneuver distracting strike
Ooh.
to deal an additional superior die 1d8, 1d6. I can never remember.
I think 1d8. Yeah, I feel like it is. Let me double check.
Ah, superior dice. His are 1d8s.
Okay, hooray.
See, an additional 3 piercing damage, and it grants advantage on the next attack against it.
Nice.
And that'll be it for Ludger for now. We'll save the action surge for something important.
Fair enough. Bemmy, what would you like to do? You're being bitten.
I'm gonna disengage.
That's fair. Yeah.
And I will. $30, $35 over here. And before he runs away, he's be like, "Person, I'm sorry, but I can't shoot him that close. Bye."
Just get clear, Bemmy.
I'm in pain.
Okay.
I have the big hurt.
The big hurt.
And anything else, Benny?
Nope. That's all I can do if I'm disengaging.
Cool, cool. I would imagine you're pretty focused on the giant thing that you're trying not to get bitten by as you run away, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Before anything else, you notice from your vantage point something kind of odd. You could have sworn those statues were further away, like not long ago. You didn't see a move, but it's weird. But anyways, what do you want to do?
I telepathy to the group. Statues look like they move. Seem like closer. I did not see them move. Just thought. And then she aims and remains on her perch. Does the steady aim to give herself advantage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 23 hits for 21 damage. Very good.
And then, how tall am I up here?
You're about 20 feet up, maybe. It's crumbling. I would say closer to 15.
Okay. Just kind of keep an eye on, like, then she's going to fix her gaze on that one.
Okay. And one sec.
And that's it.
Alrighty. And sec. Just that.
Oh, no.
Uh,
No.
Femi, while you hear some
Please
like
don't bite me again.
you hear some dragging, like sounds like someone with like wearing stone shoes or something is like walking behind you, and it's not a surprise because thankfully for the warning. Um, but this drow statue is clawing at you. It's weird. And does a 17 hit?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
it does.
All right. Let's see. It is 10 slashing damage.
Ooh.
And I need a con saving throw.
Okie dokie.
As what seems like weird grayish goo is coming out of its claws as it claws at you. Okay, but you shake it off. You know, that's gross. You don't like weird goo. Um, and let's see here. Yeah, they'll. And it is now someone else's turn. Not someone else.
Right.
Dash over here. It's given up the pretense. But that's as far as it can get. And Siltalis, what would you like to do? You just saw a statue like jump to life and start speed walking towards Purser.
I would first like to question the wisdom of coming to this continent, which I
Fine with
believe is a
someone
free
else
action.
does it.
I believe that is a free action.
Yes.
Secondly, I want to climb on top of this and scooch over here so I can see Bemmy
Okay. Demi's
and
doing fine.
cast sanctuary on him.
Mm.
Okay.
And then I'm going to cast Toll the Dead on the big guy coming after Purser because I'm questioning the wisdom of him coming to this continent at this point too.
Well, I was
Bring-
ordered to.
Bringing the light of the silver flame.
What? He could bring the light of anything else. He could also stop trying to kill himself.
Listen. 14 passes. Okay. Wow, he's rolling really well for a -1. That's pretty damn good. He's been consistently rolling well for those. I'm sorry, but it's nice to see a monster do stuff. Yeah. Anything
Yep,
else?
that's my turn.
Okay, I'm gonna put something on Bemmy so
That's
I
it.
remember he's sanctuaried. Okay. And seeing that the jig is up, this fella will come to life as well. Statue. And it's gonna dash here. It's very, very slow. Now it's this thing's turn. And first thing it's gonna do, Pick, you just shot it. That really fucking hurt. And it just fixes its big yellow eyes on you. I need a con saving throw.
Oh no.
Looking at it. My eyeballs are stuck on this thing.
It's let's see. Saving throw can see each. Yeah, it just says if they can see each other. I feel like it's believable. You're fine anyways. So. And then it's just going to bite Purser because it seems like the right thing to do here. 20 to hit.
I will cast Shield.
Ah, fair enough. That's probably a good thing because that you feel like that would have like as the jaws grind against the your magical shield, like you can see venom like pouring down it. That would have
Ooh.
really hurt.
Like I'm trembling against the force of its bite, holding my wand, but
Yeah.
I hold strong.
Yeah. And that is it for it. What would you like to do, Purser?
So Purser will.
Target-rich environment at the moment.
It is, but kind of have to take some desperate actions to keep my friends safe here. So I'll
That's
back
fair.
away, and I'm gonna try to attract its attention as much as I can, so it's looking at me and not everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
And I will cast Green Flame Blade and attack the Basilisk.
Cool.
That's a 12 to hit with the advantage from
Well, yeah,
Woodker.
sadly 12 does not hit. And yeah, it's just once again, you're doing a lot of things right now. Like you're
Mhm.
you that training on like simultaneously casting multiple things while in the thick of melee. You're glad you got it, but it's hard to keep up.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that you can't quite you get a couple little nicks on it, but nothing to really make it feel the flame.
Yeah, nothing significant. That's fine. And that'll be it for Purser.
Okay,
And Ludger's just gonna shoot it again.
it is looking pretty damaged. You guys have laid some hurt on it. That is enough to hit.
Okay. That's 9 piercing, and we might
Okay.
as well. Yeah, we'll make that another distracting strike.
Okay. Yeah,
For a total
nice.
of 17 piercing damage.
Very good. I see
You.
any of you guys had this. And yeah, that's just you rocked it back on its heels, or it's all 8 of them. With the force of that shot, that cat C must have just hit a weak point because the entire bolt like buries itself somewhere in like the back of this thing. You don't see any sign of it. It's completely stuck in. Yeah, pretty good shot. It's still up, but
Okay.
it's bleeding from all over.
Yeah, I think seeing it bleeding, we'll use the action surge and shoot it again.
Fair enough.
That's a 15. I'm saying it as Purser, right? 15 to hit.
The shot barely goes a little bit wide, and ricochets off here. Doesn't hit anyone, but quite hit the
Well,
creature.
we can change that.
We can, yeah.
We'll make that a precision attack. Making it a 17 to hit.
It wouldn't have mattered what you got. Yeah, it hits now. So go ahead and roll
Okay.
damage.
13 piercing damage.
13. It's still, uh, but it looks like it should be dead. Like, you know what? We'll say the shot literally went into like the center of its forehead. Like it's in the brain pan. You're not sure how this thing's still moving, but it is.
Hmm.
Uh,
Okay, that'll be it for Ludger.
okay, it is this thing's turn, and it's gonna dash, trying to run towards Silpalis. But that's as far as it can get. Bammy, what would you like to do?
um. Move 35 feet this way.
Okay. Do you want to
And
disengage
I'll
before
go
that,
there.
or just move?
Now I have sanctuary.
Ah, that's true. That's true. It's then it is needs to do a wisdom save to see if it can hit you, because it's gonna try and make an opportunity attack. Where the fuck were these rolls with my like actual CR appropriate monster? Anyways, yeah, it passed. Fuck. No, like there was these big Mournland monsters that I threw at the party, and they couldn't save for shit.
Nope,
Uh,
I know how it is. I DM
yeah,
a lot too.
yeah. All right. So because it's an opportunity attack or attack of opportunity, whatever, this guy is a cunning opportunist. Maybe all his kind are, and he has advantage on it. He's gonna claw at you, baby.
Okay.
Well, you already passed that, so don't worry about it. But a 23 does hit, I think, for 8
Yeah.
slashing.
I am down.
Okay. So Bemmy is down there. He crumples to the ground with a, I don't know, something Cajun. Cajun noise. And yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Free
made of
action to
stone.
go back.
It's made of stone, so it doesn't have a lot of emotions, but seems like it's satisfied with itself.
I
Anything
think
else,
the
Benny?
more distressing idea would be that it's full of emotions that it can't express because they'll care.
Well, I mean that may be true, but you can't see them, so if you don't observe it, is it there? Anyways, pick. What would you like to do? This thing just hurt your friend, and this thing was
Yeah,
really eyeing you up in like an unfriendly way.
I'm gonna swear at it. And fire. Gotta into its face if I can.
The big one or the one who just hurt
Oh,
Bemmy?
the one who hurt Bemmy.
Ah, okay, that hits. It's a hard one, but Jesus. So you like shoot half of its head off, and like it teeters a bit as like a lot of its body kind of crumbles, but it's still somehow.
I am going to. I think I get this twice a day. Feature number times equal to your proficiency bonus. What is my proficiency bonus? 2. Yep, twice a day. Okay. And just because I see that we are a bit outnumbered at the moment, I'm going to use Whales from the Grave on this guy over here.
Okay. Is that a save? It's just damage, right?
Yep, necrotic.
Nice, nice, nice. Okay. Make sure they're not. They're not. Okay. I want to make sure they weren't resistant or something. And let's see. Okay. Anything else? Pick.
Angrily swearing at them, and that is it.
For such a innocent seeming thing, Pick has an interesting tone that she takes.
She takes all of her like any kind of things, like doesn't get frustrated at things, but then when she's in combat, she's like, I will vent all of my rage in a productive way.
Was this why she had to leave the settlement? Because she's just constantly cursing like a sailor?
they're like her language is atrocious, but she's very nice.
Like, Pick, I get that you're upset. Like, that hurt to smash your third thumb like that, but like we have kids around. That one was rough.
The thing you said would make. I mean, really now.
We try not to discuss cloaca in front of the children. Let's see. Uh, I mean, it's a cursed thing of stone. It's not. It's gonna dash to try and just get at the nearest moving target. Feel like that's fair, especially given that half its head is missing. Uh,
Ew.
well, you did that.
I know, but
Uh,
ew.
and this one is gonna do the same. They're not deep thinkers. So tell us, what would you like to do?
Um. Well, things are going pear shaped real fast. I hate it. We're gonna cast a healing word on Bemi.
Okay.
So Bemi, um, uh, the healing energy uh, goes through you, and you suddenly are like awake. Um, Let me check the wording on the spell because I think he still has sanctuary.
Yes, it's concentration, I believe.
Yeah, I did
Ooh.
not drop concentration, so he still has sanctuary
Oh, okay. I
because he
like
didn't
that.
attack anything before his turn was
That's
before he went
true.
down. So,
That's true. I like that.
all right, and I think we're just going to keep it simple and do a nice toll the dead, not on the statues because I'm pretty sure necrotic is going to do nothing to them, but
You
on
you
the.
s- you did see Pix whales do something to the one next to you, so it seems like
Oh,
in game you noticed necrotic did hurt them for whatever reason.
oh, well then we'll just do the one that's coming for me. So please enjoy.
Okay. Wisdom save. I don't think a 5 saves. So
No.
how do you want to do it? Because it was at 1.
Um, she like it's like two beams of light shoot from different hands. One is like this beautiful, comforting blue, and this other is this sickly green, and they both hit the two of them at the same time, and I'm guessing the statue just crumbles.
It does, and both you and Bemi hear like very faint in Elvish, just someone like gasping out, "Thank you," as it crumbles.
Oh, that's not horrifying. I'm gonna climb up the statue a little bit more because I don't want this one coming for me.
Okay.
Uh, so like I'm trying to get away from it without messing with Pick's perch, but I also don't want to be in reach.
It's okay.
Yeah, that's fair. I'd say you could get 5 feet up without like any more, and it might start to like you might start to cause some structural issues with it, just because this is not a steady statue at this point. But yeah, you're about 5 feet off the ground easily. Uh, and anything else?
Nope, that'll be my turn.
Okay, this one is it's gonna dash here to get towards Purser. This thing here, uh, you're right here, Purser. It's gonna fix you with a baleful glare. So I need a con saving throw.
Three.
Oh, oh no.
Um, yeah. So like as it's looking at you, um, you feel your legs start to get really stiff, and yeah, you feel like you're starting, like you look down, and clothing and all, you're starting to turn to stone.
I'm gonna need some help here.
And it's gonna bite at you anyways, just for funsies. But I don't think an 8 hits even. Oh, shit.
No, my AC is currently 17.
And it is your turn. 1 sec here. This works. Okay. Fail save at the. Okay, so at the end of your turn, I'll need another saving throw.
Okay.
And I
Does the
believe
partial petrification impose any disadvantages?
that's what I'm reading here. You're restrained. Okay.
Okay.
But that's it right now.
So restrained and then petrified.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's see. So speed is 0 and I have disadvantage on attack rolls.
Keep in mind, this thing, like, the eyes, part of why it was hard to avoid its gaze is the eyes are looking almost in opposite directions. There is, like,
Mhm.
the very last little bit of fletching sticking out of the center of its forehead. Like, it's, you have no idea how it's alive other than, like, the foul energies of the Delkir.
Right. Um. Ah. Purser will take the dodge action
Okay.
and just continue holding its attention.
Okay. Well, then I need a con saving throw from you at the end of your turn. A
I would.
10. Yeah,
Can I
I,
use my inspiration on that?
yes, you can. Probably
I'm,
wise.
I'm not going to go down that easily. I am a Templar of the Silver Flame, and you shall fear me.
You're not sure how much of that it's picking up, but it makes you feel better. And
I'd
let's
like to
see.
offer my session inspiration so he can take that 20.
No, he used his. He's good.
I mean,
Uh,
I'll take more inspiration.
he'll need it
Well, does a
probably.
10 pass?
Well, the 20 did because he used his.
Oh,
That's what I was saying. But let's see here. Yeah, you're just free. You're no longer restrained, and yeah, you're feeling much better as you're like, you're not sure if it's just that surge of faith you always feel when you recite the mantras or what, but that that slow petrification starting in your legs, you're able to shake it off kind of. You see the cloth and returns to proper form, and you're feeling returns to your legs, and yeah, you're feeling much better.
I'll offer a quick thanks to the flame before continuing my vigil.
Fair enough. What would Ludger like to do?
Ludger is going to shoot it.
That's fair.
The
Uh,
17 to hit.
that how do you want to do it? It was at 1.
So, yeah, I think the bolt is just going to go like through the hole in the skull, the last one left, and just straight out the other side.
Yeah, so like Pick, you have a pretty good view of like the bolt passes through the entire length of the creature and like clatters over here as the thing just drops to the ground with a heavy, like hard, sounds like someone dropped a bunch of slightly padded stone to the ground, and yeah, it is very dead.
Excellent.
Purser's happy about that.
I bet.
And Ludger will then rush up and bayonet this statue.
Okay.
Nope, that's
Mm,
a 6 to hit.
it's not hit. Yeah. It's like hitting an actual statue with a bayonet. Like there's a little bit of
Yeah.
chippage, but yeah. Okay. This one's going to climb awkwardly up here and try. I feel like you're 5 feet up. It's going to try and claw at you, but it's pretty hard for it. Let's see if it can climb up so that it can like at least reach your legs. Uh, we'll do acrobatics. I don't think a 1 passes. So yeah, it's just very like early zombies, like just kind of not making any noise, but like the mouth is moving as if it's trying to say or do something as it feebly claws toward you. And Bemi, you are awoken by the usual blinding pain of someone like shining what seems like a supernatural light directly into your eyes. But you are feeling better other than that. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna stand up, all squinty, And then shoot this thing that's going after Silly.
Fair enough.
Please go to core. Thank you. Hey.
That definitely hits.
Hey.
Okay, it is still up, but it's like I would say you shot away one of its arms, and it's just like struggling to. It doesn't seem to be feeling any of that damage, but a lot of it is missing.
Oh. Well, if he shoots off one of his arms, he's just gonna yell out, "Keep your hands to yourself!"
And anything else?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Oh, and you lost Sanctuary. I don't know if that's a deal breaker for you,
Yes,
but
it does. Darn.
okay. Pick what would you like to do.
This one doesn't look like it went down, and so she is just going to I have to keep remembering my ammo. Not move and use the
Sneaky sneak shoot.
yep,
Yeah, 24 hit. How do you want to do it? It was at 4.
same thing, right? Like she gets over to the edge of her little perch and looks down at it and is like, "No!" Angry chittering noises about Bemmy and destroy it.
Yeah, the whole thing crumbles with once again a like whispered half sobbing thank you. And it is this one's turn. And it's going to it doesn't have a lot of choices, so it's going to swing at Ludger because it has 5 feet of movement speed. Oh, okay. I'll take a crit. On a fucking whatever. I'll take a crit. And 13 slashing. And I need a con saving throw from Ludger.
It's 20.
He's fine. As whatever venom is in these things' claws, or whatever it is, doesn't seem to do anything to him. And that's its turn. Oh no. Oh, this one was dead. Well, luckily this one was up next anyways. Satalis, now it's your turn. What would you like to do?
Um. Yeah, we'll just keep doing things on whichever one looks more rough.
Mm, they both look equally unscathed thus far. So, right or left?
Right.
Okay. Let's have to do a wisdom save then. 2 does not pass, and yeah, a lot of it seems to like crumble away as it's standing in front of Ludger. And yeah, anything else?
No, not right now.
Okay. This. Okay, this one is going to try and claw at Purser.
Go for it.
Okay, so these guys are just fucking crit magnets. Another fucking nat 20 from these
Okay.
CR1 monsters.
Can't do
God,
anything
fuck.
about
I better get like decent rolls with actual fucking enemies. That's all I'll say. All right.
that.
Um. So 19 slashing damage and a con saving throw I need from you.
3.
Okay. Uh.
How much
You
damage was that? 19?
19 slashing, and you are restrained as you begin to turn to stone.
And
Yeah.
a concentration save. Okay.
This thing dead. Purser, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
Okay. And
Again,
you said I'm restrained?
you're restrained. Yeah, it's the same thing.
Okay. So, um, hmm. Well, I don't really have a lot of options here. I will stab it with a sword with disadvantage.
Okay.
Critical miss.
Roll me a D100.
60.
60. I'll open up a couple ones. So give it a little spice. All right, 60. Here we go. Wait, I need fumble charts here. I'll use that one. Sorry. 60 is all adjacent allies of your target may immediately take an attack of opportunity against you. That's none. So, you feel like your swordsmanship is some like it was a bad habit you had during initial training, where you try to do a little bit of like a little over the top flair, and you almost drop your sword doing it. But not only were there no instructors to scold you, there was nothing around to take advantage of it. So you quietly thank the flame that this didn't get worse. But yeah, I will need another con saving throw at the end of your turn.
Okie dokie.
You got this.
16.
Okay, yeah, that is enough. And you're able to shake off the effect once more. That is like it actually started spreading out from the like where this thing had clawed you this time, so your chest was turning to stone. But yeah, you're able to once again just summoning the arcane energies you command and focusing them with your faith. You're able to drive off this horrible curse or whatever it was that was infecting you.
Okay.
And yeah, what does Ludger want to do?
So Ludger will shoot the statue next to him.
Fair enough.
A 19 to hit
That hits. Yep.
for 11
How
piercing
does he want
damage.
to do it?
Okay, just I think point blank straight to the chest.
Yep.
Nice
Just the thing
explodey shot.
crumbles. Yeah. Yep. Crumbles with a hissed thank you.
Yeah, and I guess he'll save Purser. I think Ludger's a more reasonable person than Purser is.
Yeah, that's the impression.
That's a 20 to hit
That also
for
hits.
3 piercing damage. I
Every
don't
little
think
bit
his
helps.
crossbow's magical, if that matters.
Let me double check, but I don't think. Nope, it does not. So yeah, so these things are made of stone, but it's odd when you're able to pierce the exterior of it. It's still stone or some stone-like thing, but it reminds you of like partially solidified cement when you're able to get past the like exterior. It feels
Mm-hmm.
like the interior isn't completely solid.
Okay, that'll be it for
And
Ludger.
okay, this one's turn, but it's busy, no longer existing. Bemi, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna shoot the last guy there.
Okay,
All
that
right.
hits. Yep.
Pow, 12 points of damage.
It is still up, but there is not much left of it.
Figures.
It's not at 1 this time. That makes you feel better. I don't know if it does.
2, isn't it? It's 2.
Nah, a little more, but yeah. Anyways, it is still up, but like I said, like you shot off one of its legs. It doesn't reduce its movement speed any further because it has 5 feet. But yeah, it's looking bad.
I mean, I'm perfectly fine just staying here and knocking another arrow.
Okay. Heck, what would you like to do?
Knock an arrow. That's the only guy still up, so we're gonna keep that steady aim and pew.
Mm-hmm. That hits. How do you want to do it?
As she tries, always right for the headshots, and she will not curse as much at this one. because she's
Yeah.
just like, "Ah, it's done,
The head crumbles
winding down.
and the whole thing crumbles, and Purser, you're witness to no thanks, but just like what sounds like incredibly relieved sobbing very briefly. And yeah, um, with that, there are no other threats coming out of the ruins to attack you.
Excellent work, everyone.
Statues were sad. Weird.
Do we need a minute? I look at the purser. I mean, I look at purser briefly, but it's more like, of course, you need a minute.
He's like
But I look
clutching
at
the wound at his chest.
yeah, she's just like, it's clear she just doesn't know what to do with you at this point because you seem to have no sense of self-preservation. She looks at Bemi like, we should probably take a few minutes and just take a breather.
Overwhelmed
As
by his sense of
you
person
know,
preservation.
you know, I mean, honestly, Bemi at 7 points, hit points out of 32, he's gonna look at you and go, "Yeah, it's pretty nice. Sit down for a little bit. I'd like to do that. I'm gonna come
Agreed.
right over here. I'm gonna sit on this here statue, and I'm gonna just exist for a minute here."
I'm just gonna walk over and plop down right next to him.
There you go.
Pick is going
And
to flutter down and look at them both and make a medicine check just to see if she understands how their flesh suits are damaged.
sure, yeah. It's not a bad. Like you're getting used to the weird like anatomy that these guys have. They're like they seem to like leak at the slightest little abrasion, but you're getting used to it. And yeah, you think they're okay. Um, you privately you think to yourself, since this would be more your specialty, that if you were to, prepare Bemi for a burial in I would say probably lizard folk style, it wouldn't take much. Like he would be a pretty easy job to drain the
Okay.
blood out of the body. Like there's not much blood left in him. You privately think to yourself.
And the damage would be, like how much could you really prepare and mortuary it up to clean it up? It looks pretty
Yeah,
messy.
yeah. Purser's is easier to hide. You would just put something over the chest and yeah, he'd be fine. Although the wound is pretty ugly and doesn't seem to want to heal right. It looks like very flaky.
Weird.
Little like bits of stone and stuff.
Hmm. Yeah, like it doesn't have any mechanical effect, but the way it heals is
It's
unpleasant to watch.
ugh. They'll care.
While we sit and wait, can she make a medicine check to look around for plants that people chew for pain or anything like that? Or nature
Um,
check?
sure. Yeah, you could do that.
No idea.
Well, part of the issue is that like you're able to find some plants that you think, hey, this would be useful, but primarily during the day when you can collect it. Like right now, you can't actually touch them, so it's hard to
Sticks
collect them.
hand.
Yeah, like
Sticks hand through it. Damn it.
yeah. So that's your main obstacle, we'll say.
She's
And
just flying around sticking her
realistically,
hands through plants.
these are the ones you're seeing here. There's an odd amount of it. These aren't so much painkillers as just the equivalent of like tobacco or something, where it's like it's a very mild euphoria as opposed to like an actual it
Helpful.
numbs things. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's an odd amount as you look around. Like this is growing. Some like some tribes of Volkuri Drow grow this stuff, but it's not popular because it tends to cause tremors if like you chew on it. And if you chew if it gets too bad, then the person has uncontrollable tremors, and they usually get exiled and die pretty quick. Um, and it's kind of a gross habit, but there's a weird amount of it around here.
She collects some and stuffs it in her bag anyway.
Well, yeah, you can't collect it because, like I said,
Oh
it's
yeah, I
not.
can't touch it. Yeah. She frustratedly goes around and attempts different plants since they're waiting.
Yeah, well, maybe it's just honestly, maybe it's because this variant goes ethereal, like in at night under the moonlight. So it could
Yeah,
be.
she's just being silly. Well, she's just being Pick, where she's like, well, maybe it's this plant, or over here, or this thing, or maybe I can
You
touch this
won't
thing.
know until you try every plant. But while Pick's
Yep.
doing that, is anybody else doing anything other than just like catching your breath?
Um. Hmm. I mean, with my no, never mind. It's too late. She already rolled for nature because I am proficient in it. I would
I
have given
feel
her a
like
hand.
You
Bemmy
could
But
probably
is
do it,
very focused right now
but he's
on
yeah,
not being
he's.
dead.
I will use a spell slot, and Bemmy will cast Cure Wounds on himself.
Oh, this is a short rest, so you guys don't have to like if you want to. Well, I
Bemmy
should.
is not gonna cast Cure Wounds on himself.
Like, well, so I should clarify. I assumed you guys were taking a short rest. Do you want to just do spells instead? It's up to you.
No, short rest sounds great. I like that
Okay.
idea.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, like it's not safe here, but realistically, it's not super safe in the city no matter what if you're, out and about too much. So resting an hour probably isn't too bad, and the city's too big for the cultists to be completely infesting here. So yeah, once everybody's feeling better from their short rest and up and about, ready to go, you guys can continue on in the uh, increasingly bright night as a couple of the moons near their highest point. Lighting it, the light doesn't directly get to you, but you can see them very vaguely, and it adds you know how when you have fog lights on and it just kind of lights up the fog as opposed to actually illuminating the road like it should? Or not fog lights, when you just have normal high beams on. That's kind of the vibe here with the moonlight for this city is it just sort of adds a glow to the fog. But
Hmm. I
yeah,
could be mean and ask which moons are currently visible.
actually one sec. No, yeah, I have a calendar for just that. Uh,
Hmm.
calendar tool. That's part of why I'm keeping track of the date. Um, yes, and it is the 12th. So it looks like the most visible ones right now are uh Threndor, Aran, uh Ulrun, Erie, and Volt. Or Volt and Barakas. So there you go.
Cool.
So yeah, now you know. But yeah, so that like I said, I feel like it's never that dark in most places in Eberron with that many moons shining. It also makes
Some of
for
them are fairly distant and dim, but yeah.
yeah. But regardless, between them and the ring, uh, it would be a very pretty night if it wasn't for all the fog. But yeah, nothing attacks you, and you're free to continue on towards the Den of Remembrance. Should be a short walk if your memory serves you right, Bemmy.
Okay.
Well, Bemmy, lead the way.
Okie doke. Now, hold on to the rope. Please don't be too bright.
Nah, fine.
You can be smart all you want, just don't be too bright.
Just
Beat me
give him
to
a flat look.
it. One of the wandering ghosts nearby chuckles at it.
I have to imagine I'm looking at Bemmy because I can't actually see where he is. So I'm like looking a foot to his left.
Okay, well, if there's a ghost that chuckles, Bemmy's just gonna go, yeah, see, he gets it.
Purser, you vaguely see like some kind of glowing outline of something that chuckled at Bimmy's joke. I'm sure that helps. Um, but
I just like finger the amulet around my neck.
yeah. But as you guys get closer, the looming open air stadium, or at least what looks like a stadium, has plenty of openings that would be large even by giant standards, making finding an entrance in laughably easy. You pass through a long stone hallway as you go in. Here. And into an open area that looks like it's a mix of like a stadium field, but with the center of it is clearly an open air theater, raised platform with it's designed so that it's visible from all angles. Like there's different points where the curtains are dropped in kind of a dome situation, or at least you would think curtains. There's nothing left anymore, but there's a lot of very delicate arches that you imagine you could curtains on. Um, while it's clearly taken damage from the passing of time, just like the rest of the city, the overgrowth that's common outside isn't found here. In fact, looking around the ruined Den of Remembrance is it's astonishingly clean and tidy for a ruin. It just looks like it's crumbling somewhat. And as you guys, I feel like you probably don't just run into the middle of like stadium. But like as you're looking around, you do hear a deep rumbling voice that comes out from the stage in the center. It says in Giant, "Who goes there? Any intruding on these grounds must submit to the authority of Kulsad the Eloquent, Guardian of Karakos, and Watcher of the Bronze, or Watcher of Bronze. Sorry, it's Watcher of Bronze."
Michael Sard, it's Bammy. Me with a couple of friends.
And there's like a hesitation before the voice. Very well. And from the stage comes a large creature that takes to the air with the sweeping of its wings. It's clearly not a dragon of any kind. In fact, like it resembles a lion with horns and an eagle's wings. Put an image up.
Pick
Flat.
waves with all four
Written?
arms very enthusiastically. And being referenced to being Bemmy's friend. She's just like, hi.
Yeah, it circles around like kind of looking at you guys before landing lightly nearby. There's almost no sound as it touches down.
Talos looks incredibly confused. Wait, is this the cat?
I am known as Anak, Pulsad's servant and agent against the forces of darkness. Creature holds its head very high as it announces its titles. Why have you come to my master's lair?
Pretty kitty.
Talos is just blinking over and over again.
Pick just thinks
She's-
everyone pretty kitty.
Um, I don't think Sultalis would speak up for this part. I think she would just.
There.
She looks at Bemmy.
Bemmy's trying real hard to remember what he's asking.
Mima asked us to come.
Yeah, but
wasn't
what
super
for?
Purser will step forward and bow to the glorious creature before him.
It really likes that. It regally inclines its head and looks down at you.
As a kitty should.
Greetings, Anak, servant of Kulsad. I am Sir Purser Talon, Templar of the Silver Flame, and we are regrettably here on business from
Dottie.
Dottie, the hag.
You, sorry, you dot me? That
Yes.
foul scum! Why do you come here in that thing's name?
Well, we seek a boon from her, and she asked us to come here to speak with you specifically, in fact. She wasn't very specific.
Well, she said to talk to you if Kosad wasn't round. He ain't round, so here we are talking to you.
Precisely.
What did she tell you to speak of?
I don't.
She basically said to.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. She was very vague about it. That's a factor here.
Yeah,
But
that's what I thought.
yeah,
I was
no,
like, I'm looking at my notes and I'm like, oh, did I
she
just
said go
stop
and
writing?
no, she said go and tell him, she said ideally tell Kassad or his cat that about the monsters in the city and ask for help, basically.
Yeah. She seeks our aid in dealing with these creatures of Orlask infesting the city.
It gives a rumbling growl at that. Those creatures! I became aware of them when I returned 2 days prior. You can be assured that Kulsad has been informed of the vermin infesting the city and will return within a fortnight to take action.
So he's Wes, and okay. So he knows about it, and he's gonna do something. That's pretty good, if you ask me. That ain't that bad.
Pick nods.
That's good news. Well,
It kind of like it. It's watching like back and forth between you, half starting to pace. Its eyes kind of shine with a bit of a golden light as it like sees very clearly that Bemmy just kind of trails off and nobody else has talked. That looks to Purser and says, "Well, I will confess, I have chafed at my master's instructions to not act alone against these monsters. But if you're fighting against them, you could count as allies, and I would not be alone. I could take the fight to their twisted lairs. Yes. If
Pick bounces up and
yours,
down
Will
and claps all her
you
hands together. Like,
will
yeah,
you get in?
good, good.
Just a
Everyone's
quick
talking.
question: will you get in trouble if you were to skirt the orders that way? I just want to make sure.
no,
oh,
I am Pulsad's closest confidant and his primary watcher of the plays he insists on performing. Yes, he would not dare send me away. I will aid you in your quest, little ones, as long as it is noble, and we in no way truly aid that monster sitting in the caves.
As a Templar of the
Bemmy's
Flame, I would be much appreciative of any assistance you can offer, a great one.
Flame. He leans in and takes like a a heavy sniff. You do smell pure. Wonderful.
Pick kind of subtly attempts to make her way over to Purser and sniff him. Does he just smell like Purser has always
He
smelled?
smells like Purser.
She just looks at the cat and then backs up to Siltalis.
remarks about Mima and her being called a monster, he just immediately thinks of the monster with the big black hole for a head outside. That's probably what it means.
Undoubtedly. So, I imagine we're headed post haste immediately to the temple, the once sacred temple where this filth has infested. Yes?
They've infested a particular temple.
Yes, the ancient temple to the giant's god of death. It's where their serpentine leader lairs.
You're dealing with a snack, huh? Okay.
Yes.
Bemmy, we knew that. I
We
told
did?
you.
I don't remember. I mean, Medusa snack ain't a snack. It's a bunch of
Serpentine
those
in
snacks on
form.
the head.
Semantics.
All right, fine. Okay.
I
I'll be quiet.
apologize for him.
Of course you do.
Quite all right. I can see you are the true heroic leader of this group.
Of course.
Cursor, don't apologize for other people. Just don't.
I have to apologize for the ill-reputed behavior of my underlings.
That's right. Just tell them you
Um,
found it right.
well,
Let's
then
cast
that's a
light
good
on
thing
them.
that we ain't your underlings. Got it?
This infighting is not very valorly.
All I'm saying is that if he's so smart, then why does he want to not get seen when he casts light at nighttime? That's it. Okay, I'll be quiet.
What?
It seems confused. It's looking back and forth between all of
So does Purser.
But yes, that is undoubtedly your goal. You clearly have suffered in getting here. We will move with most speed and bring the fight to the leader of these monsters.
We wait
That-
for Mir. We go get.
Um,
We need Mir. I think.
oh, mirrors, not a good idea on this island. That creature that spoke to you makes extensive use of them.
With such a powerful and pure creature such as this, I don't think we need tricks as planned.
Hmm. Well, I will say that there has been some uncomfortable elements introduced with their corrupting of what were once the silent sentinels of the city. Truly tragic.
What are these silent sentinels?
Sacred, well, how to describe? And he briefly drops into Celestial before, like, speaking mostly to himself. And then they are the remnants of the giants that once lived here. They chose to deliberately embrace uh, form, tether themselves to their physical form so they could continue to serve their god even after death. It's a most noble goal, if a bit unorthodox in its execution. Um, they used to be scattered throughout the city, their stone forms slumbering, waiting to be called upon. But that foul serpent has been going around corrupting them. I will confess that if there's more than one of them waiting, that would be a bit much even for my strength.
Hmm. What would you suggest?
Hmm. Well, you all must be somewhat skilled if you've reached here. Uh, Surely you have powerful tools and weapons to wield against these reality warping monsters.
We get.
Confess we have no great and powerful artifacts, simple magical tools and weapons.
Hmm. That's less than ideal.
Maybe we go get potions out of scary prison. Maybe there's more things in there
That's a good
that are
idea.
good.
That's a really good idea. I think we should because on the Medusers, they go ahead, they try to turn people into stone, and that basilisk was a problem, along with them stone zombies. So I think, yeah. Percy, you like the idea of having a potion to keep you from turning into a rockhead?
Hmm. Perhaps. I'll turn to Anik again. Uh, we encountered the spirit of a giant outside of the city that asked that we investigate the seals in a place called Path's End and confirm that they are still sealed.
Ah, yes, that is a dark place. Well, it has become a dark place. It was my understanding that it was once so much more, but there will be, or at least I've been told that there were ancient treasures waiting in there. Kulsad himself did not gather them for fear of waking up what slumbered, but That may be your only hope, if you don't quite carry tools equivalent to your internal valor.
Hmm.
You gonna come with us?
Of course,
All right then.
I will wait for you there. And he, like with a running charge, flaps into the air and starts flying to the south at like an
Bemmy's.
unnaturally
Oh,
fast pace, like way faster than each wing beat should get him.
Bemmy's just heart sinks a little bit. He's like, man, I was really hoping for a ride, but okay.
I wouldn't ask such a magnificent creature to carry us.
I bet you he's bored enough that he might have given it at least a consideration.
Really want pet.
On that topic, did Purser recognize what it is?
Give me an Arcana check.
Apart from a weird cat?
Well, with advantage, this would definitely be something that would have come up.
17.
So that is a celestial spirit, often found in service of the angelic forces in what's the plane of battle?
Oh,
Well, war.
Shavarath.
Shavarath. Yeah, this is an angelic spirit often used by the more virtuous angels of Shavarath as either a mount or as like a boon companion type. Uh, and
Hmm.
let's see, I have the name somewhere. Uh,
Legion of Justice?
Probably. It is they're called Feldars.
Oh, yep. I thought it
Yep.
looked familiar. It's from a magic card.
Um,
You're right.
well, it was statted out with the Ravanica thing, so yeah,
Hmm.
easy celestial to add, and it's not obscenely OP, but yeah,
Ravnica was such a great block. Sorry.
yeah,
Mm. No,
yeah,
I
no
I don't
argument.
disagree.
Yeah, um,
Not gruel, then die.
but it's definitely a valuable and rare ally to have. Um, like usually they're pretty hard to convince to stop their like ceaseless fight for what they think is the cosmic good. Um, to have one as like a permanent summon is pretty wild, but I mean, dragons be dragons, so who knows?
Hmm.
He did
And it's
seem a little bored under the pompous elements. Like,
yeah.
Serving a dragon who's like, just go watch this area for me. And he's like,
And it was clearly one from Shavarath and not like a native celestial.
yeah, definitely. Like I would say with your role, there was definitely some elements of like it's summoned, it's not a native.
Okay,
But yeah, what
cool.
do you guys want to do?
Let
I
us
mean,
travel south and meet with Anak there.
yep.
Okay, let's see here. All right. So once again, Bemi with advantage. Give me. This feels like a history check because it's memory for you to like navigate the city. So with advantage, history.
Okay. It's a flat roll. Here we go.
13. Yeah, part of it is Meemaw was very clear that you not ever go towards Path's End, but you're
I
able
just
to
never
find a
did.
safe enough route. Like you were around it. It was okay to go near, but just not ever there.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like as you guys move towards the headquarters, well, the one-time headquarters of the Order of Grave Wardens, um, the paladins of the giant god of death, Karak's devoted, Karak's most devoted to destroying Mabaran undead above all else. Getting here involves going kind of up again, as the southeastern and southwestern wings of the city are higher than anywhere else. It's not like a mountainous climb, but it is very much you're going uphill on semi-ruined city streets. It's difficult to tell exactly what this particular neighborhood was as you arrive, given the ruined nature of the city in general. But the homes here are larger and more elaborate. If it follows the same pattern you'd see on Corvair, maybe it's an upper class neighborhood. Kind of hard to tell. But yeah, nothing attacks you or gets in your way as you approach. Actually, it is like very there's not even very many ghosts. It just seems completely clear as you approach the fort. Um,
Mm.
uh, Traveling through the area would be disorienting. It's a little disorienting for you, Bemmy. Since you like that whole like stay away thing.
Mm.
But with Pick fluttering up and kind of giving you reports, you are able to spot the heavily fortified building that isn't. It's the only one really that isn't part of the city's outer wall, so it kind of stands out. Um, as you approach the fort itself, you're struck by two things. The first is that it's breathtaking level of preservation. It has some vines growing up the outer wall, currently ethereal, but it looks like it could still be inhabited. Everything else is usually crumbling pretty badly. Maybe a wall's fallen in. This is still very much intact. Um, and the second thing that strikes you is the size of this fortress. Uh, it's really only with Pick fluttering up and looking down from above that you can even get a decent idea of the size of Path's End. You'd guess that the entire fort is nearly a mile long, one way, and probably about half a mile on the other. Uh, so it's for like one solid fortified area. It's just wild.
That's giant architecture for you.
Yeah, yeah. It takes more than a bit of walking, but yeah, you eventually find the front gates. The enormous things are thick gray metal that doesn't show an ounce of rust. And oddly, it looks to have been the gates have been forced open. The stone around the
Mm.
edges of the gate itself has been removed, causing the left side to tilt in at an angle, leaving a sizable entry point.
I have a bad feeling.
Anik
Can
swoops down at this point and lands in front of you. Sorry, go ahead.
Does the
can I?
damage look? Oh, sorry.
I think you were asking the same question. Can I determine how recent this damage was?
Sure. And what was that the question? Uh,
Yeah.
Salsalis? Okay. Um, Give me a this feels like a general investigation check, or if you're proficient stoneworking tools.
Make it investigation.
Yeah, I figured.
16.
So like what strikes you is that the air here is pretty still, but there's an occasional gust, parts the fog somewhat. The fact and those little gusts move, they cause the unbalanced gate to move slightly. The fact that this is still like this, you wouldn't guess at it lasting more than a few days at most. Like if there's no wind.
Hmm.
But yeah, Anik is lands in front of you, growling in displeasure as he looks at it. You are correct. Someone has been here. I saw several humanoids scurrying into the outlying buildings when I first flew over. How dare they desecrate this hall of righteous warriors?
Eh,
What manner of humanoids?
I confess it was difficult to tell. They were all robed.
Hmm. What were you about to say, Pick?
she just said ick.
Ah,
Varicos has told me that Path's End included a grand meeting hall, a personal mausoleum for those who fell in the line of duty, a dedicated husk steel smithy and armory, and a prison devoted to sealing away the undead they couldn't smite. He also mentioned that near the smithy there was an armory stocked with weaponry meant to undo the undead.
Ooh.
let us head in and see that this sacred hall is not defiled. If these are servants of the Dalkir, we must stop them.
Capital idea. Take warning. The villainous invaders I spotted from the air all fled for the cover of a building that Kulsad informed me led to the prisons. The flighty mistress of time is not with us in dallying. And he takes to the air again.
So, Purser's kind of like reflecting some of the Felidor's spirit at this point. He's just getting amped up and ready to go, and he draws his sword and just like jogs in.
Fair enough. He is very
Before
enthusiastic.
before she follows, she looks at the rest of the party. Is like, does this feel like very dramatic to anyone else? Like too dramatic?
I mean,
Some people just excite.
he's enthusiastic. I'll give you that. Maybe he just really likes his job.
I
That would
guess.
be good.
Maybe he's
and
just
nice.
very bored.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot to do around here sometimes.
That's fair.
Anyway, let's make sure that Purser doesn't, throw himself into a hole because reasons.
To arms!
As you
Cat
guys
remind me of Purser.
as you guys move into the fortress's courtyard, you can see signs from the recent, there must have been a battle here pretty recently. 3 dead basilisks are, they lay cut apart, along with the crumbling forms of over a dozen stone cursed, as well as a few robed humanoid bodies, their blood splatter creating fan shapes from the blows that felled them. A quick glance, as you guys go by the bodies, either checking, whether you stop to check or not, you can see. They're a mix of humans and dwarves, largely, all bearing the same tattoos across their faces.
Mm.
But yeah, as you move through the courtyard, there's faint, angry howls, and you can see misty figures trying to form. It briefly takes form of like a giant in armor, but it just can't seem to maintain itself. Very faint shouts come in common from. Oh no, these would be in giant. There's intruders, defend the end. Um, as it's obvious that there probably were ghostly defenders, and the cultists were able to push through to a certain extent, with pretty horrific losses as you're looking at the sheer number of dead or destroyed. But you can definitely tell where the cultists went to, as there's a single giant figure made of stone, an ugly purple light shining through the many cracks in its hide as it stands up and starts moving forward towards you.
Mm.
Anik actually roars a challenge from above and rockets towards the abomination with the speed of a diving bird of prey. I will hold back the foul creature. Onwards! Foil their plot! As he slams into it and they both tumble over.
You heard him, let's go!
Okay.
And yeah, there's a single gate that goes into a hall where there's several stairwells all leading downwards. As you guys push past the fight, the increasingly otherworldly sounds of the fight. Luckily, it's pretty clear where to go, as only one of these stairwells has been pried open. At least if you're going to follow the cultists.
Bemmy, he would immediately caution, goes, maybe we shouldn't just rush in. Maybe we should be a little bit more quiet.
I'm fine with quiet, but we must make haste.
That's fine. I can move quiet and quick at the same time, but can you?
No.
All right, then we take our time. That's okay. Fight's still going to be there.
Yeah, there's
Better
a
safe.
ear-splitting roar from outside as it sounds like Anik is still fighting this silent enemy. Um, but yeah, you guys could give me a group stealth check if you want to try and go quietly down these stairs.
Absolutely.
Oh, maybe I can.
Nice. Yeah. You're not sure if you're just inspired by the important. All of this, you're getting swept up in the passion of the celestial, and you feel like it's bringing out the best in you. Um, can I get one from Pick? Yeah.
It's just
Okay.
lagging for me for some reason. I don't know if it's
Ah,
showing
okay.
up for you.
It
Oh,
did. I'm sorry to say.
rogue fail.
Yeah, I mean, up until a certain level. Once you get past a certain level, rogues don't fail. But right now, yeah. Um, Hick,
Oh, baby.
you you can't fly down this. Like it's sized for giants, but it's a spiral stairwell, so it's really frustrating to try and fly down, and you can't help but like bump into the walls occasionally and like sputter little Thri-kreen curses. Um, but you still have some pretty good rolls.
She'll just
Uh,
land on somebody's shoulders.
why do I see Purser as rolling heavy
That
armor?
is Ludger.
Okay. I was like, what? Okay, yeah, Ludger didn't do great. And I do need one from Siltalis. He didn't do as bad as he could have, though, realistically. Average is not bad when you have disadvantage.
Yeah, I was gonna say it probably doesn't help that Pick sounds like a helicopter when she's flying.
Yeah,
I'm
in
just
close
picturing
spaces.
every time she keeps bumping into walls. I'm just like, oh, that squeak means fuck.
The learning the language slowly. Man, she says a
In
lot of them words.
in classic like learning it on the street fashion, it's all gonna be curses. Uh,
It's curse words first. Everyone
yeah,
knows.
your average still isn't bad in spite of all this. And you guys aren't super loud as you go down. In fact, you're better than average. Um, so yeah, going down into the darkness below. Um, the sound of Anek's battle with the giant above seemed to kind of fade away. Like really quickly, actually. Like one or two floors down, and you can barely hear anything. In fact, now, to be clear, this is not like closed in. These are still giant-sized stairs, but it is dark very quickly, and it goes pretty quiet. The stone walls seem to absorb sound, making the loudest thing all of you hear is your own breathing, the sound of blood rushing in your ears. There's also an increasingly unsettling pressure that is growing as you go down. Somehow, the air itself feels hungry. Uh, just deeply malevolently hungry. And yeah, as this, going down what level after level, the stairs open up into a dark hallway. It would be pitch black if not for three sources of light up ahead, um, two of which are bluish lanterns held by what looks to be a crowd of cultists that have circled around one of the larger cells. They're chanting something in a strange language that causes a sense of vertigo and pain to listen to. The third source of light is from a faintly glowing magical circle in the cell itself. This golden light illuminates a statue of an elven man, his refined features contorted in anger. You can't see too much more detail from here. Among the cultists, a dwarven man is shouting something in common, Corvarian common, as purple light flows from his fingertips into the statue. Soon, soon, even the stonemason will bow down before Petros, and Petros will become the true chosen of the Lord of Stone. As the chanting seems to rise in intensity. And let me put you guys on the map.
You said crowd. How many does that entail?
Well, I will show you very shortly. Here we go. We need players for this. And I'm just putting you guys down. You can put yourselves further back if you want. Come on, move. There we go. Okay. And look here. Let's see. What the fuck? One sec. I've got to reload. Okay, well, for some reason it was refusing to drop players onto the map, and it's still doing that. That is fucking awesome. All right. I am doing it wrong. There we go. Okay, I guess I was. All right. Let me. That's so weird. Like you have to hold exactly the right point. That's a little finicky, but that's okay. Considering how shitty it used to be. All right. So I just put you guys here. Cursor, do you still have you still have your kitty cat? Well, your little kitty cat.
I don't have it actively summoned at the moment, no.
Oh, okay, okay. So let me put you guys on the map. And there we go. And so far, it seems like no one has noticed you. But
Mm,
you guys can see this way is where I said crowd, but it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 including the dwarf who's yelling. And I'll put images of the cultists up. Why not? We want. They're not all identical to this, but this is the general vibe.
hmm
And this is the dwarf who's probably seems to be speaking in third person, so it's fair to bet that his name is Petros.
So Purser will like whisper talk up the line. We need to stop whatever they're doing. Quick and clean.
Okay. Whispering in the mind response.
Oh right, yeah. super stealthy, yeah. And yeah, you guys can organize yourselves like in whatever actual order you would be in. I just was putting you on the map.
Doop-a-doop.
It's fair. I don't think anyone argues that at this point. And it seems like you'll probably get the jump on these guys. They're pretty focused on whatever ritual they're doing to this statue.
Pick is going to want to aim. Let's see, how far is this? Roll out. Okay. 125. Oh, I can apparently hit that from clear over there.
Yep. I'm of the same mind. So let's shoot at the boss first. Boss quotation fingers. Yeah.
In the mind, Pick will say, "Is it okay if I shoot at Angry Man up front
Only if I can shoot at him too.
together?"
Yeah.
Looks at the others like, "Is okay?"
Purser just gives a slight nod.
You get a thumbs up from me.
Okay. Yeah, then why don't we have everybody roll into initiative, including the baddies, and then you guys can take your surprise round because you did stealth, which is not a bad idea. Do that. Okay, and now this one. If I had confidence in it, I would download the um, auto roller for like the initiative of all enemies, but I've seen it kind of mess up how it runs, so I'm not really willing to add third-party stuff quite yet.
Oh man, I have been cheating myself. With Dread Ambusher, I get an additional 1d8 damage.
Well, there you go.
Anyway. Alright. That's just for the one attack, but still, I haven't been doing that. Alright.
Listening. Yeah, one sec here. Make sure I got everybody. Let me. One sec. Okay. Now I got everybody. Yeah, if anything, 29. Go ahead.
Oh, I go first? You don't say. Okay. Bonus action Hunter's Mark on the dwarf.
Okay.
And I will get my 2 attacks. Nice.
That hits. Yep. It does not.
Ugh, bummer. Okay.
Still pretty good.
Yeah. Skadoop.
Okay.
Skadoop. And let me just make sure. Okay. If you take the attack action, you can make 1 additional weapon attack as part of the action. If that attack hits, the target takes an additional 1d8. So only 1 of them hit. So, okay. Okie doke. So it's just 17 points of damage.
Being level 4, not bad. All right.
Nope, not at
Yeah.
all.
Okay. Yeah. There's like his chant, half bad guy monologue is interrupted as you like nail him in the shoulder, and there's a faint crunch as like your arrowhead pushes out the other side of his shoulder, leaving it stuck in him, and he like howls and interrupts his whatever it is he's doing. Seems like mostly monologue, as like the purplish light seems to flicker a little bit as it's not flowing as hard into this statue. And they're surprised. Purser, what'd you like to do?
So, in typical Templar fashion, and I imagine they're about to be very concerned when a Templar of the Silver Flame inexplicably here pops out of the shadows.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's like we have local problems to deal with, but you know, it's not Corvair, guys. Like realistically, of the things we have to worry about, the Silver Flame freaks are not one of them.
The light of the flame abjures thee, traitors!
Yeah,
I'm charging out of the darkness, and I will cast Firebolt at the leader guy.
okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
This,
And
this-
critically miss.
G100.
This guy right here has just got to be thinking, where the fuck did he come from?
I just want it known that Sultalis is like watching this and sees it go wildly off mark and is just like, oh boy, here we go again.
32. Okay. 30. Okay. So the spell attack, while it doesn't do damage, does arc forward, and it seems like you missed by a country mile. Like it actually goes by here and like briefly kind of scours the magical circle as it goes over it. But the force of it and just your sheer righteous anger actually knocks the target over. As there's like a weird cosmic pushback as you're both knocked prone. Yeah, he takes no damage and neither do you, but you're both knocked prone. So that's something.
Yeah. Like the last 2 feet of my movement are like sliding across the floor, desperately staying upright.
It looks like somebody clotheslined him. Like as this thing like almost hit this guy, like somehow it just both of them, both Purser and this guy both just went like to the floor.
Maybe just
and-
the sheer force of my spell knocked me off my feet as I cast it.
yeah, you
Like
were that
knockback.
enthused. Yeah. I'm counting it as like whatever forces he were channeling were such like in opposition to yours. It was like 2 magnets hitting. So yeah,
Yeah.
it was you knocked back. It's this
And
guy. He's surprised.
I'll then cast Shield of Faith
Ah, fair enough. On
on
the
the
floor.
ground.
He is surprised and prone, and he's complete. Like the spell cuts off. Whatever he was doing just dies. What does Ludger want to do here? It's harder to hit the leader.
Ludger-
He's prone now.
Yeah, Ludger will, I think, just start picking off the other cultists. So he'll shoot at the one next to Purser first.
That does sound very Ludger, yeah.
That's a 15 to hit.
That hits, yeah.
Okay, 9 piercing damage.
Okay, yeah, that, like, near, yeah, it sinks to the feathers in his gut, and he looks terrible.
Mm-hmm. And might as well action surge and shoot that same one again.
Okay.
A 13 to hit.
13 hits the leg of this giant-sized table and chips off some of the stone, but does not hit the enemy.
What if I said it does still hit?
Okay,
does.
yeah,
21 to hit.
yeah, that does hit. How do you want to do it? It was at 1.
So yeah, just yeah, right through the gut. Just
I'll
like,
say it still ricochets, but goes sideways and does a trick shot that no one could have done deliberately. Like it's through the side of like his torso, while the other one hit him dead on. And
yeah,
yeah,
he was still reeling from the first shot when the second ricochets in a stupid way.
exactly, and he goes down with a like surprised look on his face. Um, anything else from Lidger?
That'll be it for Ludger.
Okay. This guy just died, so there's no point in having him in. Anyways, pick what do you want to do. The leader guy is down. It'll be harder to hit him prone.
Well, we'll just
Upset pick noises.
upset pick noises. Chitter chitter. Is there anything going on with this? Oh, I have the measuring thing. With this right here. Look to be doing anything at all.
The light is flickering. That golden light that was in the circle is like flickering on and off, but the purple energy that was flowing into the weird elvish statue in the center is gone.
Good, good. I'm going to shoot the guy next to him just in case his friends try to come help him. Not going to move for that
This
steady
guy right
aim.
here.
This guy right
Yep.
here.
Okay. Yeah, he is not prone, so bad advantage. 15 hits, and yeah, how do you want to do it?
Same as she always does.
Just
Right through the
one in the
face
eye.
if she can do it. Yep.
And it's a little frustrating because all of these things should be like, you can see they all have dreams. Like, why do you have to kill these? It's so rare that you get to see anything that isn't lizard people that dream, like, besides Purser.
What a
And
waste. Yeah.
what a waste. Yeah. And it dies. The dreams are no more. Anything
Oh,
else?
sad pick noises.
They might have
Then
been very
reloads.
strange dreams. Satalis, what would you like to do?
Remember, I'm muted.
Mhm.
No, I wanted to remember that I'm muted because I'd forgotten.
I spent like 10 minutes fighting my mic one time when I switched to press to talk before I realized what I'd done.
What is the range on this? Do I really want to waste it on these guys? No. No. I'll just do Toll the Dead on. What's the range on that? It's 120 feet?
Not bad for a
60
cleric
feet.
spell. Oh, yeah, that
It's
sounds more like
60
it.
feet.
Yeah. The one downside of clerics
Mother.
is range.
I'm actually, knowing Purser, going to action dash 5, 10, 15, 20, 25,
That's fair.
30.
Consistency is key.
And pull out my staff.
Yeah. I mean, you guys are this has all been an elaborate team building exercise, trial by fire. But
Yes.
yeah,
Fire.
trauma bonding is a thing. But yeah, Bemi, you guys have they have all lost the surprise condition, and you are able to do whatever horrible things you want to do to them. But they'll start fighting back now. What do you want to do?
Move here and shoot him.
Okay.
Chow. Yuck.
Yeah, the shot goes a little wide as like the cultists or whatever they are all scrambling for cover. That one's like half throws himself to the ground before realizing that he doesn't need to go completely prone. He's just hunched over. And your shot goes a little wide.
Oh man. Does it?
There's like yells of "What's happening? No, from behind! They're not ghosts! What's going?" Like just confused cultist noises. They're trying to like get like they were so close to greatness, but yeah. Um, what do you want to do? Anything else?
Um, take one step back, and that's within my realm of movement speed. And with that, I will end my turn.
This guy is going to, yeah, it's just for the Silent Lord. And he's gonna
As-
dash to run up to
Does that
Yxata.
ring any bells for me?
That's one of Orlask's titles. Um, I mean,
Yay.
you've heard Purser mention it. That's the Delkir of Stone, one of his many titles. He doesn't seem to like a lot of noise. But yeah, he has to dash to meet you, and he's foaming at the mouth practically with religious fervor. And on an unrelated topic, Purser, what would you like to do?
So I'm gonna push myself to my feet and yell out again. You thought you could hide from the flame here? There is no escape from justice. And I'll get next to Stiltalis so I can protect her when the worst happens.
Mhm.
And I will.
Oh, but sorry,
Uh,
at the top of the order, they got a little darker over here because the circle or whatever it was flicked out, but that just means it's darker.
hmm,
But yeah, go ahead.
I will make an attack against the guy next to us
Okay.
with my rapier.
That
15 to hit for
hits.
10.
Yeah. How do you want to do it?
To just stab him right through the throat.
Okay. His cries of religious ecstasy are cut silent as you stab him through the throat. With a gurgle, he falls to the ground, spraying blood on both of you.
And I yank the sword free and flick the blood off. And glare at all the others. You're
They,
next!
they glare back, seemingly eager to die in the name of their thing. Um, but yeah, anything else?
That'll be it.
Okay. This guy's dead. So it's
See,
Petros'
this
turn.
is this is the kind of fight that Purser's been waiting for. It's not like giant forest monsters. It's just pure, straightforward evil.
Yeah,
He's like, nothing like killing cultists. It is my very favorite.
it is my favorite thing. Yeah, the Petros stands up and dramatically gestures and says, "All of you will feel the true might of the Lord in the deeps, brought forth by his most devoted servant, Petros." And he's going to cast Spiritual Weapon, and a stone fist will appear somewhere in that range. Let me look at the range. And it's going to try and punch you.
It's a
60
30-foot
feet.
range, I think, right? Oh, 60 feet? Okay.
60, yeah. Still
Oh,
not
the
great
bonus
on a
action
giant
makes it
size
move
map.
30 feet.
Yeah. So you can get here. Okay. Wait one sec. And do the thing. Let's see. What's a good... Fine, I'll just say fist. What is this? Fine. You know what? We'll say this. Boy, that is completely invisible. One sec. Ah. Uh, something visible. There we go. This is visible. Say it's like a man made of rock, but it's like glowing.
It's just
Make
a
sure I
little
put it-
guy.
Yeah, there we go. Put it in the right place. Okay, and yeah, then he's let's see, what else is he gonna do? He'll probably, yeah, he's probably gonna take the dodge action here, because yeah, he'll take the dodge action and say, "For me, true servants, defend your leader." And yeah, they seem inclined to help protect him. All right, it's this guy's turn. He's gonna run up. And he's going to point at you, Siltalis, and murmur something in a foul, hard to stand language. And I need a dexterity saving throw from you. And you pass. And like what looks like a stone, like a translucent stone, rockets from his finger, and you dodge out of the way.
Just kind of lean a little bit, and I look at him like, really?
This guy is going to 30. And yeah, he's going to run up 30 feet, and then he's going to point it at you, Purser, because you're the one issuing the challenge. Yeah, the other person seemed agile, so. Same thing. I need a dex saving throw, Purser.
22.
The light of the flame is with you. Okay. Yeah, let's see. Here we go. Yeah, it's Petros is like laughing in spite of the utterly shit way they're fighting at this point. He's just really high on his own supply here. Yes! Dodge like the vermin you are. Petros' master will turn you to the sacred stone, and then Petros will enjoy watching you as he is cut off. It gives kind of a confused cough as he looks down to see a pale hand with spider-like clawed fingers sticking out of his chest.
Ew.
Another hand grips the dwarf around his neck and with a sickening crunch rips his head from his body, revealing an elven man identical to the statue that was in the now darkened magical circle. The elf opens his mouth wide, revealing animalistic fangs, and begins to quickly drink the blood coming from the dwarven cultist's neck.
Ew,
So,
ew, ew.
That's a problem.
You don't say.
I will put an image up.
That's a problem.
Let's see.
Are you sure? He could be hot.
Let's see. This might be an image that we can determine.
So he's
Eh.
like obviously a vampire, right? Some kind of variant.
Probably. That seems like a fair thing to assume. He just eviscerated a cultist.
And
mean,
drank his blood.
And
That's
is yeah,
just up
like
to preference.
yeah.
But I want his weird hair sticks.
It is
Yeah.
Ludger's turn. As the cultists look for the first time, the two surviving cultists look objectively just terrified. Like they were fine with you guys killing the shit out of them. They look horrified.
Good.
Good.
They're not looking in your direction. They both look back to see that.
Yeah, Ludger is going to just shoot at the closest cultist. Just running and gunning.
Okay,
That's 15 to hit for 8.
that hits. Yeah, it's still up. Badly injured as he lets out a howl of pain as there's a arrow sticking at him.
Okay, and that'll be it for Ludger this turn.
That vanishes because the person who cast it's very dead. Pick, what would you like to do?
She doesn't know what the hell a vampire is, so.
He could be friendly.
Could be. Probably not. Um.
One sec, I gotta look at this. Okay.
She will, however, I guess mentally, quick check. Did Purser say that's a problem out loud?
Yes.
Okay, then she's going to aim at the vampire and shoot. Let me do my arrow. And then keeping that steady aim.
Okay.
And she's not angry chittering at this one because she isn't entirely sure what that is. And she's not seen something like that at all. That looks like it stepped out of she's like, maybe that's scary to yell at. That's the first time she's hesitated because these people look kind of afraid of it.
Yeah.
And they called it.
The
They're like, they brought it here and they don't want it.
So they didn't bring it here. It was here already. They were
Oh.
just trying to hijack it. But yeah, the arrow hits and the head goes through whatever weird overcoat he's wearing, like this long, very ornate blood red overcoat. But then it just kind of falls out as he for the first time looks up past his meal. But it hit him.
She, in Purser's head, said, "Arrow fall out! Arrow fall out! What do?"
We fight.
Okay. And that was my turn.
I would.
Yeah.
Is this guy he's not a drow, right? He's not like a local elf.
He's not a drow. His skin is almost albino pale. And yeah, black eyes with yellow irises glowing.
Is there any kind of ethnic indication? Like, is he blood sale?
Yeah. Give me a history check.
Okay. History. 7.
You have no idea. That's
Okay.
this maybe a blood sale. You've heard of, there's elven pirates in the principalities who consort with those types of undead, but he doesn't look like a pirate. It's you have no idea.
Okay.
And Satalis, it is your turn.
So remind me if Purser has a magical weapon.
He does.
I do, yes.
Then I'm going to use my inspiration to get advantage on a guiding bolt at our vampy friend.
Ooh.
Okay.
Level 2.
Okay.
Oh, good.
That hits. Yep.
This is 18 radiant damage.
Well, you would think that, but one sec here. Okay. Your radiant bolt arcs forward and hits the thing, and it explodes the moment it touches him. There's you can feel the impact from where you are. That hit way harder than it should have. And he lets out a confused, agonized yell.
It's very nervous, like 5,
Good work, Syl.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30 to get behind this big ass chair.
Fair enough.
I have a feeling he's coming for me.
Bemmy, what you like to
That'll
do?
be my turn.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
You have
Okay.
advantage on this attack, Bemmy. I don't know if you have a magical weapon, but if you can make it magical, that would probably be good.
I don't have a magical weapon, but can I put the hunter's mark on the vampire?
I would say so. You weren't the one
The
who
other
did
guy
the finishing.
died.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, sure. You can. Yeah, why not? You could definitely
Okay.
move it onto him. I'll take it off the body.
Okay.
As this this elvish guy who everybody's attacking seems confused and all by the way, the blood that covered him when he ripped off the head is gone. It seems to have just kind of moved of its own accord into him. Weird. Uh, but he's
Yeah,
immaculate other than the charred, like the visible hole that was burned in his very fine robes as he's glaring at you guys, kind of confused as much as anything else.
it's just seeing him tear this dwarf's head off, drink his blood. It just seems appropriate that he'd be like, okay, gotta kill the boss. Crack, boom, slurp, slurp. Okay, gotta kill that boss. Like it would just.
I will say, like, as you're looking at him, he looks at you and says, in oddly accented Elvish, you, what are you? Agents or mutants from the fetid flesh? Sent to rescue me? Answer me! A lord of the Shaper of Night speaks. Directed directly at you, Bemmy.
That, but you've been breathing way too much in just the small time I've gotten to see you. So
Not breathing.
here's a shot. Yuck.
Yeah, he like catches the arrow midway and looks curiously at it. What are you doing?
I don't know anymore. But
Any,
Mima's words would echo in his head. If it gets too bad, you
Does the
should leave.
23 not hit?
what does he? Oh, he has advantage. I'm sorry. Oh, so that does hit. I thought it was 12. My bad. My bad. 23 hits. Yep.
Oh, all right, cool. I take that yuck back. All right, then we'll go here. Skadoosh and skadoosh.
I'll say for flavor, he just held up his hand and just like caught it with like he just caught the arrow with his hand. Like it went through. He just pulls it out and glares at you.
Huh.
And anything else?
Take. See, I was there. I was there. I'm gonna move back here. And that'll be my turn.
That's fair. This guy's dead. Purser, what would you like to do?
So Purser is going to just run past this cultist here.
Okay. Who will not take an attack of opportunity? He is like, but neither of them are concerned with either like any of you at the moment.
Yeah, he's gonna get as close to in between the vampire and Sultellus as he can.
Okay.
And I definitely want to keep Shield of Faith up. So I
don't know if you need
will
to.
firebolt the vampire.
Okay.
8 to hit.
Yeah. We'll say like this isn't counterspell, but for flavor's sake, as the spell comes forward, he just seems to like reach out and the terrible sequels where like it starts off with emo Vader like catching a ray bolt in midair. That's what this guy does with the firebolt. He just like catches it and kind of snuffs it out before it gets to him.
Hmm.
This is your
Okay.
last warning. What is going on? As he's just like bellowing, apparent just in sheer rage at the moment.
Luckily for Purser, he doesn't speak idiot.
Yeah, no, he doesn't speak Elvish, so like,
No, he does speak Elvish, remember?
No.
no,
Oh.
we retcon that slightly because it made
Okay.
no sense that he had been traveling for like 400 miles and not, or like 100 miles and not speaking it. So
It would have been one thing if I hadn't touched on it at all, but I roleplayed pretty deep into the I don't understand Elvish part.
yeah.
Fair enough.
So yeah, he just makes like angry kind of hissing noises at you, and it sounds a little bit like what Bemmy and them speak, but it's like listening to somebody from like an old Southern family versus like a Bostonian. Like that's the same language, but holy shit, does it sound different?
Mm.
Uh,
Yeah,
but
that'll be it for Purser.
okay, this guy's turn. Action dash. He is running as fast as like drops his weapon, runs.
All of life choices have decided to be different today.
Same thing. Just runs.
I
And
mean, like I said earlier, if I was them, I'd be pretty shook if a Templar of the Flame just appeared. And
yeah,
things went kind of downhill from there.
yeah. So let's see what this guy will do. Okay. No, I can't do that yet. What's that? So much. All right. He is going to go with. Okay, so he needs to move first for that. Okay. So without like very much without his feet touching the ground, he moves forward
Creepy.
to here.
I can respect an ominous hover.
Gotta respect an ominous hover.
You were the one who was the most disrespectful so far. Siltalis by doing the thing you did. Let's see. Okay. I need a con saving throw as he just like reaches out towards you.
You leave her alone.
22.
22. Okay, you save. So this is very good. So you take half damage. 16 necrotic,
He
and you are not affected by the other things, as it feels like you're able to keep moving and stay standing, but it feels like the marrow in your bones is like moving of its own accord briefly. And
was he about? Did he cast blight on me?
that's not blight. It's a maybe long forgotten necrotic spell. But yeah, then he just like as he's like holding his hand up to in a forced choke direction towards Sitalis, he just looks at Bemi and says, "If you don't explain, I'll drag it out of your forms." And yeah, that's it for him.
Okay, Ludger is just gonna open fire. He's a simple man when it comes down to it.
Yeah, I think he is.
He's just
Very
gonna advance
believable.
forward, shooting. It's a 19 to hit.
That hits, yep.
We'll use a distracting strike on that
Okay.
to make it 13 piercing damage.
Okay. He like he's bleeding, but he like as you guys watch him, like at the end of his turn, they're actually no, that wouldn't be in effect. But yeah, he's injured. He just seems to be shrugging off most of it. Like given how thin and pale he looks sickly, so you should like most of the cultists look more healthy than he is. Like the shots that felled them are barely touching him. But yeah. Anything else Ludger wants to do?
That is it for him. He can't get in range for a bayonet.
Okay. What would you like to do?
Uh,
Two big strange people are running past you like as fast as they can.
I don't
They
know
were
that
the
them
people you
getting
were
out.
previously killing.
Yeah, I'll probably give them a pew. Just gonna shoot at one of them since the arrow didn't seem to do anything. We'll go to the guy closest to the door.
Fair enough. Yeah, that hits with advantage. It definitely. How do you want to do it? He was at 2. Like,
She feels bad, but probably just in the back of the head
yeah,
since he was passing her.
it's an easy shot. That's for sure.
She's like, I
The-
just don't know if they're good to get out.
The body
But she
hits
will
the
look at the
ground and
vampire
rolls.
guy and be like, we come to secure prison? Not know you or cultists? Points to the dead one.
Okay. So, like, hearing someone respond to him in a language that he understands, that isn't like weirdly accented nonsense. He like looks at you and squints his like uh glowing black eye or glowing yellow and black eyes and says aloud once again in Elvish, the, the slaves of the giants. Where is this? I'm remembering. It's those fanatics. They caught me. Undoubtedly, it was treachery. Treachery within the court. Out of my
Think I'll
way.
catch you.
He seems to like get distracted as he thinks he's putting things together. I need to return. And yeah, I'd say that's 6 seconds worth of dialogue
All right.
one way or another.
We good.
Satalis, what would you like to do? By the way, it's
Am I
like
here?
yes,
Yep.
I heard that. Yep. Um, yeah, at the end of your turn, can I get a con saving throw? You
Me?
don't take you don't take any damage yet. The damage is on his turn, but you have a chance to break free of it at the end of your turn.
Okay.
It's not causing any status effects, but that's just for the half damage thing. It's a weird spell.
Oh.
Currently, it
I
feels like your bones hate you.
so it's just like real life. I will hold a guiding bolt, level 1 guiding bolt, for if he attacks any of my friends.
Okay, fair enough.
And I will. Oh no.
Yeah, it's you're not able to shake. You call on your faith, but there's just a haze of pain. It's really hard to focus shaking this off right now. But yeah, Bemi, it is
Yep,
your turn.
that'll be my turn.
I'll get rid of the advantage thing. Bemi, what would you like to do? This weird guy is rambling about weird stuff now. Like, he's not making a lot of sense.
Gonna get here, and then I'm gonna shoot him again.
Okay.
Yuck.
Yeah, that one, like I said, well, this is the one that he will say he just catches and throws aside. Enough games. Out of the way, all of you. And,
You mean you just want to leave?
of course,
I
I have
don't know. We
rivals
should
to
let it get out.
eviscerate.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he seems harmless. Like, what's the worst that could happen?
No.
Okay, but let Silly go.
He just looks confused at let silly go.
And that's all I got.
Fair enough. Purser?
So Purser like power slides in front of him, ready to stop his
God.
movement, grabs his
Oh, God.
amulet, lifts it into the air, and powers the light of the silver flame through
God.
it.
Okay.
Oh no.
Okay.
So if he isn't undead, as I hope he is, he has to make a wisdom saving throw or be turned.
Okay. Fair enough. Da-da-da-da. Let me see.
Oh, could fail, could fail, could fail.
So yeah, just like hold it right up in front of his face.
Come on, dice gods. Be so cool.
Followed
Fail,
by
fail, fail.
a legendary resistance.
Yeah,
Spoilers.
I can
All
live
right.
with that.
I choose to succeed. Of course it does.
So he chooses to succeed. But
Mhm.
he did fail initially. And like he shrinks back a little bit at the light from like and squints a little and just kind of looks at Purser and sniffs. Are these yours? As he gestures towards Purser to you, Bemmy.
Is he
Eh,
asking Bemmy if they're mine?
yeah, no, he's literally asking like, is this yours?
I mean, I didn't give it to him. I mean, he's thinking he's talking about the amulet, right?
Yeah,
So it's like,
that's fair.
I didn't give it to him.
And Purser, you're the only one who hears, although you don't understand. There's the creature murmurs to itself in this strange, vaguely elvish sounding tongue. You know what? Ludger's close enough to actually hear the words. It is a mutant, dim-witted by the process of breeding.
Oh, that hurts.
Anything else, Purser?
Um,
I'm gonna take 1d4 psychic damage.
let's
He
see.
seemed,
Bemmy
by the
get
way,
what
he has
happens.
seemed really caught off guard by Bemmy's appearance, like really fucking confused.
I
Like,
have a hunch of what this guy is, and I can imagine why.
like Bemmy, you look
Purser
like an
doesn't know,
elf, but not
obviously.
normally. Like you're not like a normal elf. What the fuck is wrong with you? But yeah, if nothing else, Purser will. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yep, that's it for Purser.
Okay. I'm just gonna keep running, murmuring cultist nothings to himself as he runs down the hallway. Is dead. This guy's turn, and let's see. Yeah, you know what? He will. He still doesn't know what the fuck you were talking about, Bemmy, but he will drop concentration on Silsalis just because there's no reason to keep that up anymore. She's stopped attacking it, and apparently she's like part of your group. It's very lost. But he's just going to like grab Purser by the shoulders and like draw in a deep breath in front of you. And I need a con saving throw from you, Purser.
7.
7. Okay.
If it looks like he's about to bite him,
He's not biting him.
you let me know when it's my round in combat.
So what is happening to Purser here?
Purser, your face is bleeding. There's no injury, but it's just like blood is pouring out of your pores.
Oh, he's just like
Um,
sucking the blood straight out of me.
as he seems to take in, seems to swallow it, and then yeah, 12 necrotic damage. It's not bad.
Yeah, Purser will scream in pain.
Oh,
Oh
That's right.
yeah,
That's your
Sultalis
that's
is
your
ready to
trigger.
action.
That's your
Oh,
trigger. Yep.
wait a minute. Is Slugger taking damage at all?
Ludger has not taken any damage yet.
Okay, and realistically, I would say he's immune to this effect anyways. Let me see the range on this cone. 60-foot cone.
Yeah, I guess
Okay,
he
one
probably
second.
doesn't have blood. He's just got like alchemical fluids or something foul.
Formaldehyde.
foul.
Okay, so it doesn't affect Purser, but we'll say those bodies are the juice in them is worth a little bit as blood pours out of them and into its maw also. So we'll add that. And I saw the attack. Yes. 12 does not hit. Okay. As you see, the burns and injuries on this thing seem to be healing as it pulls in this blood. And yeah, then without paying you any more mind, Purser just kind of like lets go of your shoulders and hovers around you.
Took a little snacky snack.
Yeah, pretty much. He's just floating forward.
Was that
Menacingly.
without provoking opportunity attacks?
Nope, it can if you want to attack him. He's just not paying
Ah.
you any mind.
Yep, I will go to stab him. Unsuccessfully.
Yeah. Yeah, he
You
just
did
kind of
just
like,
have blood sucked out your face.
hey.
That's understandable.
That's not
Well,
enough to stop a Templar.
so I say face, it was really everywhere, but that was like the most visible place. But yeah,
Ugh.
yeah, he's just floating forward, um, like watching you pick. And yeah, you're if you had a proc reaction, you could do your attack pick.
She wasn't holding, but
Oh, okay. Sorry, I wasn't sure.
no, Satalis was, but
Right. Yeah. Okay, then yeah,
I don't know who's that's next.
he's just floating forward. It's a fast pace, but he doesn't look like he's hurrying. It just looks like that's kind of how he moves. Think those of you who've seen Invincible, like when the Viltrumites just move around by floating. Um, and yeah, look, it is Ludger's turn.
Oh, right, I'm Ludger. Forgot for a second.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Okay, Ludger. I'm not really sure what he'd do in this situation since the enemy's obviously like not really doing a whole lot and just leaving. I guess he'll keep shooting
Yeah,
and
fair enough.
advance into bayonet range. It's a 13.
That does not hit.
Okay, and the bayonet. 10.
And yeah, he's just beyond this at this point. It's like whoever it is, this guy's just moving. Uh,
That'll be it for Ludger.
okay, see. Jesus. And yeah, pick what would you like to do. This guy's just floating towards you, menacingly.
Well, since she knows that her arrows didn't seem to do anything, she'll use the round to talk to him. When do you think you are? And where?
What ridiculous question is this?
It may have
And
been a long time.
see here, he would say that it is. Let's see, I actually have this written down. I just need to find it. Here we go. Age of Titans and the. Okay. Yeah, he would say that it is year. Huh. I have the age, but I don't have the actual. He would just say it's the third cycle in the year of Titans, or in the age of Titans. Why does it matter? Move, bug.
She would tell him the actual date.
Do your people keep time?
Don't know. I'm sure we keep some sort of calendar.
I feel like you would probably, for ease of use the Drow one. If you if you
Yeah.
do use time, you probably would have picked up the local Drow one.
And Pick interacts with enough of the local drow.
Yeah, like if for nothing else, like I will be back to pick up dead people at this time. And like when you used
Yep.
to just reference the movement of the moons, they would give you a confused look. So you learned it.
Had to learn how. Yeah.
Um, but he doesn't seem to understand that calendar system. Like, what?
It is. These are ancient ruins. I do not know if you come from here, but they are very old.
And
It may have been a lot of time.
he sneers a little bit and just says, "Come from here." Uh, I come from. Where is it here? I come from the Quilbaran capital, and I will return there. Out of the way, slave. Last warning.
I mean, she's not in his way. She's just chatty with him because she's like, "You're weird," but she goes,
Yeah.
"Okay, good luck."
And yeah. Oh, here I'll give you an actual ballpark.
Like 40 to 50,000 years.
Yeah, yeah, roughly 50,000 plus.
I mean,
But
Pick would translate to the others what he said if he wasn't saying it out loud.
yeah, no, he's saying
And
it
she knows
aloud.
Purser doesn't speak it.
Yeah, this purser probably would appreciate
So
that.
she's like, "Don't know what date," but gives it. He say this.
She'll say 50,000 in Elven, 50,000 years ago for us. That's the time period you're talking about.
For the first time, a bit of like concern really crosses his face. So far, it's just been like anger and irritation. But he kind of like seems to shake it off.
The Empire of the Giants
No,
is gone.
no, no. He doesn't seem willing to believe you, at least at a like casual conversation level. You could sit down with him and try and like, all right,
No,
you
I
could.
have people I need to keep fine. I am going to cast Warding Bond. Well, not cat. I just do Warding Bond on Bemi and
It's
I don't
between you
remember.
and the target.
Not Warding Bond. The other thing I can do, Emboldening Bond. The other bond I can do between.
Mm.
So you can just have a D4 once around.
Okay.
He's good, very good. Yeah, and that's pretty solid as far as keeping people alive. Anything else to
Uh,
tell us?
I'm gonna. How are you looking, Purser?
Purser, I mean, he's probably not very bloody, but he's looking a little bit thinner than usual, I think.
He's not bloody at all, actually. There's no blood on him.
We'll cast a healing word.
He is full of righteous furor.
And less
I
blood.
need his righteous fury not to get us killed,
And
please,
cool.
for you.
Thank you.
Say your casting healing word actually cast sleep on.
The thought crossed my mind for sure.
Bemmy, what would you like to do?
Bemmy's just gonna unlock an arrow and just go, "Now you listen here, you pointed tooth oversized skeeter. As soon as you walk out of here and you see what that outside world looks like, it's gonna be different. Cassili ain't lying to you. It's been a long time. You've been trapped here for a minute now."
Yeah, and he does seem to take you more seriously when you talk. Just know that. No, and you're here. What happened? Did we complete our grand revenge?
I
Answer
don't
me,
know what you're
mutant.
talking. I don't know what you're talking about. That happened a long time ago. I don't know what your grand revenge is. But the world
And like,
outside now is different.
yeah, he seems very willing to entertain the concept, but it's just like I won't say panicking, but he looks incredibly disturbed. Anything else?
Uh, yeah. What's your health at? Uh, silly.
Oh, I thought that was directed at me. I was like,
25 out of 41.
I'll hit you with the cure wounds. Got
Oh,
something.
thank you. Yeah, even the 16 was pretty rough for her.
Yes, I've done it. That was a good thing.
And that'll be my turn.
Cool. Purser, what would you like to do?
So Purser, is it obvious that they're like talking now and not fighting?
I mean, yeah, he unknocked an arrow. Yeah, but you didn't hear any bell. It's up to you.
Yeah, I didn't. I
I
didn't hear
didn't
any
hear no
bell, but
bell.
it's obvious that they're like negotiating or something. So I'm going to advance, but not like super aggressively. I want to make him sure that I'm still ready to kill him.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
assume he just completely doesn't care.
Yeah, no, he's like very much still looking at Bemi, like in confused, growing concern.
Yeah, you know, I know what I'll do. I'll cast comprehend languages.
There you go. Nice. Okay, we'll say you catch the tail end of Bemi telling him time is, how a long time has gone by, things have changed. You will say you catch the tail end of that conversation.
Okay, that'll be it for Purser.
Okay. It's following him. I
Some say he's still running.
mean, he's trying.
Yeah.
Ooh, he's trying. All right. This guy's turn. You like kind of frightened him as much as he's capable of it. He's gonna dash. He needs to get outside and see what the fuck you're talking about. Um, and oh, I don't need the cone anymore. I need
Anyway, he started blasting.
yes. Yeah, he's gonna dash over to here. And you hear like increased screaming from the cultist as he glances behind him and sees this thing rapidly closing the distance. What does Lidger want to do?
Ludger will. I guess Ludger will follow. Just keep an eye on him.
Okay.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Nick, what do you want to do?
Follow the vampire guy
Hmm.
because he seems to be having a really bad day. And she is simply curious what the hell is going on with this dude. She's like, man, she can't even fathom that amount of time.
Yeah, that would be so far outside of Thrycreen's stuff. That's
Like
yeah.
it's one thing going through all these runes and stuff, but it's another thing to be like, that person was around. I mean, I
So
know
for
Mima wasn't around,
comparison,
but
he literally predates the Drow entirely. That's why Bemi is confusing the fuck out. Like he predates the creation of the Drow.
poor. I mean, she doesn't know what he is, but Purser says he's bad. But
Yeah, and to be
she
fair,
just
Mima doesn't really factor into the conversation of time. So
Yeah, exactly. Like he would actually, if you'd mentioned Meemaw by name and not Dottie, like yeah, yeah, he would have been like, oh fuck.
oh fuck.
Yeah,
yeah, she like predates the planet.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she's just gonna follow him to watch what he does. I might take a shot at that cultist actually, because
Just for
Okay.
fun.
Well,
I
I
mean, she
feel
doesn't
like
necessarily want to kill more dreamers, but
yeah,
That cultist is getting drained.
I was gonna say
oh,
so
he might.
to
I go
to
around the corner and it looks like he gonna eat it.
oh yeah, like it's very much like as
Okay.
he goes by, the guy just like mummifies as blood just pours out of him and into your new friend.
Well, she's
And
suddenly very glad that he didn't do that to her friends.
kind of tried. It's just the cultist can't make that save, so um but yeah, so he can like if you want to follow him when he goes out, he's not paying you any mind. And he just
No,
like
That's
we'll say for the like flavor's sake, we'll kind of step out of initiative for now because it seems reasonable. Um
yeah.
But yeah, he just floats very rapidly up the steps, and anybody who follows him, you notice that the sounds of battle have died off. Like you don't hear any deep roars or smashing sounds, as he just looks in confusion at like the ruins of this fortress before um, like himself dissolving into a cloud of fog or mist or something, and blending in with the native stuff and vanishing.
So,
Uh-oh.
I think that's the second BBEG we've released to the world.
to be fair, we didn't release this one.
Yeah, this one was not like you distracted the guys who were trying to like seal evil in a can shit. Like they were fucking with things they should not have fucked with. Um, but yeah, that seems like a fair point. Yeah, you're definitely out of combat. He has no interest in continuing the fight. Um,
So, speaking of fucking with things that we shouldn't, I'm going to burn all of the cultist bodies to ash.
that's fair.
I do
Yeah,
not want any like kind of eldritch horror coming out of them.
vampire with
You
Delcure
stink.
elements. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's not fun. Yeah, you just like the smoke billows up and um, yeah, it's you're able to burn the bodies pretty quickly. That your flame seems to really take to these bodies. Um, and yeah, it burns them very effectively, leaving not even ash
I-
behind when it's done.
I'd like to come over here and inspect the prison
Okay.
and see what I can learn about that creature.
Give me a religion or arcana check, whichever you prefer.
Somebody come over here and help
I-
me.
I'll assist once I've got the bodies burning.
Yeah, it's a pretty quick process. You're used to this at this point. But yeah, once
Hmm.
she's done poking around, you could come over and help.
Yeah, I've done this dozens of times back in training.
Yeah, yeah. So with that roll, you're not able to discern too much. It definitely is a circle of binding, but you see, it's a lot less of like actual binding here than more like preserving an effect that's already in place. The circle was just to make sure that like say a spell or effect that was there couldn't be lifted easily or dispelled on its own or whatever. It was there to just keep this thing in stone forever. Because maybe they couldn't kill it or make it stop existing, whatever you want to call it for undead. But yeah, you're able to glean that much just from the circle, one way or another. Like this was here because they couldn't get rid of it, that type of thing.
Understandably so. He's a hard dude to kill.
I mean, you guys hit him pretty hard. But yeah, he wasn't. He was not really. He was
These
fine.
are very similar to the binding prisons underneath the Citadel Flamekeep.
Yep. Dude,
What are
they
you
do
agreeing
look
with me
off.
for, Bemmy?
Because they do look the same, don't they?
When have you been to Flamekeep?
I don't know. I thought they were. I mean, these look like the same circles that the Angel Man, the babyface Angel Man. That's what I'm thinking.
That was more of an elemental binding situation.
No, I'm just trying to be proactive here. You don't got to be all snooty.
Poor Bemmy. I'm
He's just
agreeing with
gonna.
you. Why are you arguing?
He's just gonna sit down in this chair, and he's looking at the little black mirror for Mima, just thinking to himself, "How am I gonna tell her what happened here? I don't think this is gonna be good news.
Bemmy looks
Mima
like a
don't like
6-year-old
good
in that
news."
chair, by the way. Like that is a huge.
that's,
It's a giant sized stone chair. So yeah,
that's perfectly fine. Just
climbs up
Mima
into
ain't
it.
gonna be happy.
So, are there other seals to check the integrity of?
There are other seals, but they are long fizzled out and gone and no longer functional. There's 2 more that you see, obviously. More conventional prison with much smaller scale seals, but most of those seem to have failed as well. Some of them contain rubble of what was likely something originally. Maybe it was smashed with time or whatever. But
So this
yeah,
was the last one, maybe because it was the most powerful or just had the most redundancies.
yeah, who knows?
Hmm. This is concerning.
Give me a general int check.
Me?
Yeah.
Let's see.
I feel like this is a person thing.
8.
This is concerning. Who knows how many of these abominations were enslaved by or further corrupted by the Delkir? There could be hundreds. Who knows? Um, that's the conclusion you jumped to with an 8. um, but yeah, there's not a ton of fun things down here. Just the now gone bodies and the remnants. The whole place still has a hunger to it, but it feels much less intense than it did when you came down. So that's good.
Oh, yeah, all the hunger just left.
Well, yeah, but it's not here. That's something. So what do you guys want to do?
Well, we can find that armory.
Yeah,
There's
let's
a
do
lot of
that.
things to do.
So,
Come back down and report.
much like how Bemi is considering how to tell Mima about this, Purser is trying to figure out how he's going to report this back to his own superiors. Because things are very quickly getting out of hand on this island.
Some good news and I have some bad news. The good news is we now have a lot of information about maybe like the first vampires. That's good. Bad news is one of them is still around, and we may have let him out.
Well, unlike my last report, I'm not taking credit for letting this one out.
There is no need to. It was cultists dabbling in things they shouldn't, as cultists do.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was, yeah. But yeah, once Pick comes down and reports he gone into mist or something, you guys are free
He
to
go.
explore further.
He go. Look upset and then go.
Hmm. Just left? Which way did he go?
Make turn into mist?
Oh. Hmm.
Mist and then go.
Well, I suppose it's too much to hope for that he died and turned into mist.
Not dead, I don't think.
Well, one more obscenely dangerous threat to purge later. Did you see Anak while you were up there?
No.
Hmm.
Let's go check on him. I'm worried.
As am I. A lot of dangerous things were released down here.
But yeah, so as you guys go up and come out, you see not long after you come out, like the courtyard seems eerily quiet now, and Anik with like pretty looks very much like his forelimb looks like somebody tried to rip it off. It's pretty badly mangled. He lands a little gingerly and says, "Hark! You return! Are the fanatical villains vanquished?"
Hi. Anak, I bring poor news. We were too late, and many of the seals, all of the seals, were broken and their contents released. We just barely caught the last one, some ancient vampire, but he escaped.
Hmm. This is grave news. I thank you. Uh, well, this is grave news, but we must not let it douse our spirits. My own battle went well. The attack, my attacks had little effect against the hide of the twisted giant. But as I began fearing I would fail in my efforts, One of the wandering souls of the city decided to come to my aid. Undoubtedly, it noticed who I served and his own respect for their people. Uh, it drove out the warped spirit that was possessing the stone, and I was able to destroy the body. I've seen thieves facing down such monsters before, but normally the soul of the interred giant would simply possess another statue. Something to do with the corruptive effects of these otherworldly invaders must uh, warp the tether or must tether the corrupted soul to that body. It is good news, in spite of your dire warnings from below. Do not let it uh, dim your silvery light, friend. As he like kind of reaches out and pats the top of your head, almost like buckling your knees.
And I'll just like fist to chest, salute, and bow.
But yeah, if you guys want to look around the armory, he's happy to fly up and like stand looking like a very over the top gargoyle or something from the nearest tower while you guys do
Hmm.
so.
Yes, Purser would very much like some anti-undead equipment.
Okay.
Yes. I would also like to help search for cool things.
Fair enough. It's just there's not even any rolls. It's just a matter of looking around thoroughly. Um, because this stuff was meant to be used and found. They're not hiding it in like hidden floorboards. Um, a lot of the armory is empty. It seems like maybe there were the things were grabbed on the way out. But a single ornate giant-sized scimitar hangs from the wall. Whenever any of you touches it, it causes it to slowly shrink down to match your size. It's made out of some kind of blackish metal, but incredibly light, and crafted with curved lines and ornate depictions of mist. And when you guys identify it or attune to it or whatever you want to do, I will just say right now that it is a scimitar with the magical effects of a mace of disruption.
Hmm.
Let's see here. You also find one large flask labeled as petrification reversal in giant. It's equal to 3 medium-sized creatures worth of potion. So basically 3 normal-sized potions of reversing petrification specifically.
Nice.
And
Someone
you
keeping group loot.
I'm
Can we
gonna
post
put
it in the?
yeah. I'm just gonna put the potions in my inventory so somebody has them in their inventory.
Mhm.
Potion
that's fair. Yeah.
petrification reversal.
I shall take the scimitar. It should prove a dire bane against any further undead.
And as you like use it when you eventually attune, you feel a little bit just as you pick it up. Uh, you have an odd feeling of like joy that's completely unrelated to anything you're doing. Like, um,
Mm.
it feels like it's not your feelings or memories almost. It's kind of alien to you, but this sensate like it's very uplifting. Um,
In that
and
case, I assume it's made out of husk steel. Again, Purser doesn't know that.
yes, it is.
Okay.
And in addition to the potion, you guys find an enormous smithy. Yeah, not smith. Enormous smithy with exotic tools and a forge that doesn't seem to like. There's nowhere to put fuel in. It doesn't feel like it would use heat really. Um, the entire room has clearly been looted, or at least was thoroughly used and not cleaned. There are at least a dozen enormous molds around. Oddly enough, all set to make chain links. Each one would be the size of a grown human man. Um, there's also what looks like several ancient stone tablets scattered around with instructions on manipulating something called husk steel. And even more oddly, diagrams that don't match, like, so the molds and the and like these diagrams don't fit the rest of the general vibe of the building or this smithy. Um, the diagram are some kind of binding chain written in Draconic. And there's a fair amount of arcane jargon, like casually added.
Mm.
Yeah, any further exploration of it would require an Arcana check and some ponderings.
Oh, I'm certainly willing to do that, although I have no skill in smithing myself.
It is dense. Mostly what you're able to translate here is that these diagrams seem to, it's a very weird binding. Whatever it was, like whatever this is designed for, seems to draw from one, the plane of light and life, and two, it seems to be drawing that energy from something to fuel the binding, in addition to these chains, which are somehow key elements of it. You're not sure
Hmm.
why this is here, but you know, it's a weird little mystery. But yeah, there is likely much more in a fortress this size, but it would take a dedicated expedition by itself to get into the more secure areas. And there is more like there are more still sealed prison parts. So it's up to you guys if you think that's worth like poking about more. You did kind of get what you came for. And there are no cultists in the other prison areas. They're still firmly locked up.
Yeah, if there's nothing obvious beyond like the forge and the potions and scimitar and things, I Purser doesn't think there's much point in searching around. We have another task. We
Yeah.
can always come back later, but like these Orlas creatures are an imminent threat.
Ink thoroughly agrees. And I will say Ludger does notice something as he's looking around. It's not He's not here to hear it, but I'll send him a thing. But he would probably mention at least somewhat to you guys. He sees a grand stone mural above the entrance to the fort. It's been partially ruined by the vines that are slowly covering the walls, but it seems to show a series of poses that remind him of, and probably somewhat to Purser, although Purser's would be more elaborate. Reminds you of like pamphlets that explain that are handed out to like raw recruits. Here's basic spearmen or bayonet maneuvers. They hand these out when they didn't have time to do full training. They would hand these out, try and mimic this, good luck type thing, when it was really bad. Um, there are some words in giant above it that you can't really make out, but this this could be learnable, whatever strange thing it is. Could be maybe the beginnings of part of the formula for an artifact maneuver, or like the instructions for an artifact maneuver. But yeah, that's more relevant to a Battlemaster fighter. But in case anybody else wants to dip into that, I did hear speaking of it. But yeah, you guys have successfully cleared out a lot. Actually, you very much cleared out the danger in Path's End, and you have some real equipment that could, maybe not help tremendously, but you have equipment that can definitely help against undead and stuff in the future. And now all that's left is to go back to Meemaw and report in, and she'll give you a mirror if she's true to her word.
Maybe it'd be best if Bimmy goes alone to speak with
Yeah,
Mima.
I was about to say that. Yeah, I'll go. I'll talk to her. I'll get a mirror.
So,
But
oh, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, I'll do my best to stay as quiet as I can because there's that siren that's still outside.
We will be nearby
Cyrene.
to assist if you need it, but you are the swiftest of us.
Okay. Yeah,
Offended
I'll
pig
do it.
noises.
Concerned pick noises.
um, but yeah,
Mm,
Ooh.
oh, there you go. He's good. Um,
make him sneak.
so do you guys want to travel as a group to like the edge of the cliff overlooking Knucklebone Cave and just have Bemmy go down himself, or how are you approaching that?
I'd like to go to like the entrance of the cave so that if he does need help with the siren, we're there to help.
Ah, okay, okay. Yeah, fair enough. So let's put you on the Cyrene map. Knucklebone Cave. Da-da-da-da. Here. And I don't think this flame is here anymore. Okay. Yeah. So you guys, it's the same thing. Nothing attacks you as you go down the cliffside. Um, I would say at this point, it's not dawn yet, but you know it's 2 or 3 in the morning by the time you guys have rested and explored the ruins and everything. You're getting close to dawn.
Well, I am 100%. Oh no, I don't have any more spell slots. Never mind.
And I'm tracking that we're probably gonna call it at 6. I'll call it about 5 minutes early, Bonnie. So
Okay.
we're 5 minutes
Well,
before that.
I'm a sneak then.
Okay. So
Just
you're
trying to be
just
real
creeping
quiet.
along the ground, sneaking. Is that the
Yeah,
process?
I would sprint if I had the spell slot because it would essentially double my movement speed, and I just before he even.
Yeah, I gotcha. Okay, so go ahead and give me a stealth.
Yeah,
Okay, that's pretty good. Pretty good. Um, I feel like we're
it is
yeah,
a 25. I got
y-
yeah.
yeah. I feel like with that, you're able to you pretty quickly pick up. It doesn't matter how quiet I am. If I walk on the ground and things under the ground and it's looking up with that weird no head thing of it, it's gonna see me. So you think, hey, what if I just like climb along the side of that skull, the skull entrance, skull face entrance. And so if you do that, I would say you're able to get to basically here and just sort of drop down onto the worked stone of the entrance to Mima's cave. And the thing is either none the wiser, or if it did notice you, it can't get at you. So
Yeah.
yeah, you're able to get back into Mima's lair or cave or home, whatever you want to call it, and walking down the perpetually midnight path towards her hut. Uh, you know that she might be up from her nap. Uh, it's if she isn't, you probably gotta wait to wake her up. She can get a little crabby if you like go in and shake her awake and stuff. But yeah.
Okay, well, gonna walk on inside. Mima, you awake?
Oh wait, it's been a full day. Yeah, she would be up. Yeah, you see her, she's what would she
Terrifying
yeah,
Mima business.
well no, I'm just like there's a list of things I had in mind for her. Okay, for this one, I would say she is currently engrossed in a dragon chess match, um, with what looks like a incorporeal, like a barely there spirit of some kind, um, that has very tangible and real uh, manacles, like tethering it to the table. as she's playing chess with it. You back all right, Bammy? Good. Oh,
Yep.
good. You's all right. That's good. I was winning anyway, so we'll call it here. And she snaps her fingers, and the chess pieces put themselves away, and the spirit nods mournfully and sort of seems to fade into nothing. What you want?
Well, we spoke to Cold Store's Kitty Cat.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he helped us out over in the.
that's good.
Yeah, it
He
was pretty
he
good. He
tired.
did some.
He was tiring to talk to. Some immortals just don't conduct themselves with no dignity. As she's like slurping on a steaming like teacup with, you see there's an eye in it blinking.
Yeah, no dignity. However, when we did get there, there was some cultists on the inside, and they had broken a seal, and they let a vampire out. He's pretty
Oh,
tall. He's white. He's an elf.
oh yeah, no, I know all about him. Little Seskal. He gonna be funny to watch. But yeah, he out. Good job. And you didn't get yourselves ate up, or at least you
Nope.
didn't. Your little
Nope.
friend still alive?
Yep, they're still
Dang.
kicking.
All right.
Sorry, I know
Well,
you're disappointed when I'm happy. Yeah.
oh
So
no, I just don't
I
want
was
to see you get taken advantage of by them. These all a lot smarter than you, Bammy. You don't need to get taken advantage of by some smooth talking foreigners. But that's all right. I know they's your friends.
Struts and smooth talking foreigner.
well. I would like that mirror though, so we could go and take care of that
Oh yeah,
Medusa.
yeah. Yeah, I got one here. It's how'd had the one with the metal rod up his nethers. How'd he take the whole vampire? That must have been funny. As she's like kicking a mirror from the ceiling, takes one down, it screams, she sighs, puts it aside, takes another one. Oh yeah, this one's empty. Okay, here, use this one. And she
Okay, how
hands.
big is it?
It's about 2 feet tall, and like
Okay.
very heavy and awkward, with a fine golden trim around the edges. It's wide enough that like you can hold it without putting your arms out like like fully extending your arms in either direction, but it's close. About 2 feet tall and about that wide.
Gonna be a bitch to get outside.
Yeah, there's a lot of smaller mirrors she has. You get the sneaking suspicion she deliberately picked one that was kind of hard. Um, yeah, so there you go. That ought to work good against that old Medusa.
Now,
And
Mimo,
yeah.
do you like the idea of me not dying when I leave the cave?
Oh, if you don't need to worry nothing about dying there, Bemmy. As long as you keep your head on your shoulders, like that. You do all right. You just make sure to leave if your friends is all dying. Don't
How am
worry.
I?
There's a thing I can make them come back.
Okay. How am I supposed to sneak out with the siren outside?
Oh yeah, y'all was supposed to take care of that. I did say you were supposed to take care of that, Bemmy. Now I was trying to be nice on account of, I didn't want to embarrass you in front of your friends, but you got to yeah, you all got to get rid of them.
Okay.
There you go. Run on, play with your friends.
Thank you, Mimo. I'll see you later.
I know.
Just awkwardly carrying this gold-trimmed mirror outside, mumbling under his breath. Like, I don't understand, man. You can't pick your family. I wish it's not fair. I can't climb a cliff with this. It's too
No,
hard to climb a
you
cliff
literally
on my
can't climb a cliff with this, but that
Exactly.
does that does seem like an excellent point to end it because I know Bonnie's got to get going. And yeah, we'll call it here. With you guys have gained a powerful ally to help maybe open the way to the temple, and have now gained a sizable mirror. This should be very helpful against things that petrify with their eyes. So that's good. And all you have to do is get rid of the stone siren next time. Or not. You could honestly ignore her and just not do it, but you know, probably a good idea to get rid of.
Carrying this mirror, just
Honestly, I thought Mimo was gonna trick us the opposite way and give us like just a tiny, like finger-sized sliver of a mirror.
Because honestly, it was gonna be one or the other. I was like, it's funnier if Bemi has to try and fucking carry this.
it is. That is really funny.
That's a key element in her decision making. Is like, yeah. So, but yeah, so I normally don't do a like. There is no fucking way that they can beat this thing, but I didn't feel too bad because he was going to ignore you almost no matter what you did. Like you could have chased him out trying to hack him to bits. He has the health and special abilities to just fucking ignore you.
That's
Like, so I was like, realistically, this vampire is gonna be more concerned with like, I'm out. I'm gonna eat the first few people I see. And seeing Bemi was enough to give him a pause because fellow elf type thing. And yeah, like I said, I hope that wasn't too much. I don't normally like to put people in unwinnable fights.
No, I think that was fine.
This was more meant to be like a a possible recurring enemy, or maybe he'll just go off to the mainland and be someone else's problem. Like could be any number of things.
Well, if he becomes our problem, once I learn maximized radiant fireball, he won't be a problem anymore.
There you go. That's fair. But yeah, hope everybody had fun, and
Yeah.